Welcome back to Vaporware. We're the channel where our banter is as thick and heavy as Vaporware.
Yeah, nothing.
Exactly.
Which is nothing. And don't worry, we're not all about vaping here because...
Yeah, fuck Vape Nation.
Yeah, no Vape Nation here.
Also...
smoke some real stuff like cigarettes.
And if you guys listening from last time, which I doubt... thing is, though...
I'm optimistic, and I think all of you guys...
Oh, yes. Yes, I have faith.
But forgive us about going to Taqueria during a quinceañera the last time.
Oh, yes.
We didn't expect that.
Hopefully it made you hungry, though, for tacos.
Oh, it was good.
Yeah.
But this time, we're forgive the background noise. We're in the middle of a fucking round table right now. We had a quiet room, but...
Yeah, we upgraded.
Yeah, we upgraded to a round
upgraded to
table.
the regular dining room.
And for those of you who don't know, we're literally like in the middle of Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Right down the street from Yahoo.
No, not even anymore.
Really?
Palo Alto Networks or some crap.
Yeah. Well, then
I don't even know what the closest is anymore.
We're also east of Google Complex.
There we go.
And, I don't know, Capcom's down the street.
No, not even. I wish.
Or no, Namco, right?
No,
Namco's down the street, right?
Not anymore.
You know, I thought they were down the street.
Not Great America
Almost
anymore. They used to be. The thing closest right now I can think of is...
EA?
No,
that's River City, man.
Oh.
Where we're at right now. Okay. You know what? There's really nothing here that's like relatable at all. It's just all like tech, superconductor crap.
Well, yeah, no, NVIDIA is down the street over there, too.
There you go.
There you go.
AMD. Forgot about that one.
Yeah.
It's literally across the street.
And then we got Big Daddy Apple a few miles down.
Big Daddy Apple, Kevin Nash.
We're in the heart of the beast, the heart of Silicon Valley.
Yeah, we're literally right here. And forgive the background noise. We're going to have a Little League team in here before you know it.
It's already happening.
So anyways, today we're going to talk about esports and whether, theoretically, would they be acceptable in the Olympics? And, the regulation of the gaming and whatnot, and whether it's going to get bigger or just as big as national, physical sports. Then we're going to move on to comparing N64 to PS1.
It's a strange comparison, but in my opinion, but that's pretty cool, actually.
It is a strange comparison.
Post-console wars, really.
It is kind of post-console wars, but one wonders if maybe that may have been where the real console wars kind of took flight and started. Mm-hmm. But we'll get more into that.
The third-party aspect, maybe, I can understand.
Yeah.
And then from there, we're going to transition to pre-internet gaming and how multiplayer gaming prior to the internet has changed for the better or the worse, thanks to, ARPANET.
Yeah. Dude, but yeah, that's our take guideline. Hopefully we get through all the topics. We should be able to. Unless we get into this really long rant on esports alone, and then we just want to kill ourselves.
Oh boy. So anyways, getting started, esports. There was a little report, and I know it's just a theoretical report, but they were talking about esports in the Olympics, at least, or in the Chinese Olympics and whatnot. And you know what? I don't know about you guys, but I think there's a lot of bullshit. I think it's disrespectful for the actual Olympians
that work hard and train their bodies.
Yeah, instead of their fingers and getting blisters,
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I kind of like the idea. Okay. I understand this whole thing's supposed to be a physical sport, showcase, blah, blah, blah. But I think we can still get an actual real video game in there just for the sheer fact that we don't have to worry about what's that word? Because we're still playing with the mental aspect and tactics and strategy. You're still using strategy of some sort. But the real problem though is a lot of games nowadays there's no they're not standardized. None of them are standardized.
No, there's a lot of variation between them.
And that's one of those big things because they have a sport like baseball. There's no deviation. Well, let's go back to NFL. There's a deviation of XFL. You see there's arena football. There's subsets, right? But we have the standard of NFL. That rule never changes. Rules change, but the game never changes.
Celebration rules.
Yeah.
I heard they're coming back.
Yeah, well, they are coming back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but look at someone like T.O., Terrell Owens, for those people who don't know. That guy was, he made his career basically on celebrations, and they're like, Big Daddy commissioner came down and no way, totally wreck him.
Like I seriously want my pelvic thrust back.
Huh?
I want my pelvic thrust back.
Yeah, okay, that's a whole different subject right there. Yeah, but
But no, but that's what I mean in a way. For sports, I mean, I want to have a game that we could see something like that in the Olympics, especially considering it just could be in Japan and everybody pushing fucking Nintendo and the actual the Indian ceremony, right?
Yeah,
Which should probably be in the news
for
sure.
Olympics 2020.
Yeah. So the thing is, though, if we want to have something in there, the only real problem is that we need to. There's no such thing as a game that's been standardized as, hey, this is the standard of what we need to play against and how we need to compete against the world at a grand scale. There's nothing like that. There's no game like that because all games changes. Like let's say, for instance, let's say a real standard would be like, let's say CS 1.5. That patch in particular, like it was before Steam came out and everything. So it's that one patch. If they just had that one patch and maybe patch up every once in a while to make it robust, that'd be nice because it'd be a standard. The game doesn't change anymore. It's still balanced in its own right. I mean, it can still change a little bit, but the game shouldn't change at that point. That's the problem. But we're not going to have that.
Okay.
So adding in patches, things like that.
I mean, that's still a thing because that's like rule changes in sports, or in any activity. The thing is, the game just can't drastically change right off the bat.
But that's what's happening right now in esports. Every year, it's like they nerf or buff a character,
Or they just make a whole new game.
and then knowing that, but you got a whole new game or a new edition like Street Fighter 5 and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
that's
anyway,
the issue.
Ultra Hyper EX edition.
to backpedal a little bit, I just want to get this whole Olympic thing cleared. It's not so much that there shouldn't be a national like esport thing or worldwide. I think that's great. I think it's awesome because not only do kids get to play, but also people that are physically unable to do like physical things, right? People from all walks of life can play, right? Mm-hmm. Even with I remember that one guy, he plays with his mouth because he's a quadriplegic.
Yes,
Well, that's pretty good.
No,
Bowling legs?
yeah, there's half coordinated. It's a streamer that is he's paralyzed in one half of his body, so he has to play with the entire left half of his body. I believe it's the left half. And guys like him, it's really awesome because guys like him like have a shot to kind of show off their skills and
That's a whole skill within itself, dude. Being able to play without your hands.
Absolutely, yeah, no, and like to play a game like on hard mode like he does, it's really cool because it also kind of gives inspiration to a lot of the people out there that don't kind of have the abilities that a lot of us have the opportunity have, I guess.
And it's a good point. And then, I mean,
I'm sorry to break it, but it's kind of crazy that this guy went through so much adversity just to actually play a game. Like,
Yeah.
And now it seems like he has a whole setup to actually play it properly, like play a game. But it's just so insane. Like, you could say, oh yeah, other people have skill, but like, dude, that's real skill in my opinion. You're overcoming just to play the game normally, and then to play against the top players.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's like,
Yeah.
you gotta be kidding me. You're insane.
I mean, isn't
Like,
there
that should be a reward for on its own, dude.
well, isn't there a blind Street Fighter V player
I've heard that.
that
But the game's easy, so I can see why.
Well then, moving on.
Not to undermine him, but that is pretty impressive.
No offense to Street Fighter V players out there.
But to be honest, that is pretty tricky. I don't know how you would do it blind. The audio cues are insane.
Yeah.
yeah. So,
But go on, you were saying.
yeah, no, okay. Let's just wrap up the whole Olympic aspect of this discussion. I believe that there should be a world or national league for esports, but to have the Olympics, that's disrespectful for the people that come from third world countries that have no electricity, working hard to get a gold medal, and then you have these people that essentially,
That have their own spot in the Olympics now.
yeah, and that opens up another discussion in regards to the Olympics that has nothing to do with our channel here. So it was.
Hold on.
Do you want to leave it at that point, though? I mean, I agree that it should be on a national or world scale, right? But to be in the Olympics, that's just a mockery of the Olympics to begin with.
I mean, you can totally say that. But what about those reaches that can't participate? Or not really participate, but can't experience of other type of sports that because of where they live at. You know, like
Hey,
good example.
Hey, you know what? The Jamaican bobsled team has something to say about you.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why can't someone? Just somehow get a bunch of DSs or whatever, just something or just anything to play a game on.
Okay.
Besides a PC, maybe a consoles is more accessible.
Okay. Well, how about this, dude?
But see, this is why this is why I say things should be standardized.
Okay, yeah, I'll agree with you. Right. I'll agree with you if they allowed chess playing in the Olympics before any of that.
I'll be down for that.
Huh?
Yeah.
But they won't. Because where's the physical aspect of it?
Hands.
Come on, dude. Get real.
I'm wondering why, like esports would be considered to be in the Olympics in the first place. I mean,
It's, well,
It was just that.
it was a cheesy little article.
Well, it's because the Chinese are trying to do it.
It was a clickbait article.
Well, I mean, if it were true, certainly it would bring like gaming more into the spotlight and more into the mainstream, more so than it already is right
What?
now. Just gaming in general.
But it is though, and there's people worldwide playing.
Well, more so now. I mean,
you got to consider what sports do you watch the Olympics?
Track and field.
Do you really watch track and field?
Yeah,
Which one? All of them.
All of it.
All of it.
Track and field, gymnastics, and swimming.
it'd
all
be
of it.
gymnastics for me.
Because
But
that
like
stuff,
weightlifting?
that's weightlifting. Yeah, okay, well, I'm not interested in that.
But I'm really
What's
saying
your
though,
point?
is the fact that there's some things a lot of people don't even watch.
Yeah,
So what if you have something that
I'm not arguing the popularity of esports, whether people like it or not.
Yeah.
I'm arguing that to prepare for either one, whether it's actual physical sports or this, are completely different. Right? Mm-hmm. In the Olympics is a test of your mind and your abilities and how much you train. Esports is just like, I'm going to drink as much Mountain Dew as I can and see how well I do.
No. Hold on. That's already so generalized. Oh, I'm just gonna drink Mountain Dew, dude.
Yeah,
if
I don't care.
you can have a person in there playing. Okay, let's go. Let's do the StarCraft. Let's put StarCraft in the Olympics. Okay, that's like just a strip tactics. And just it's all in your head. It's actually like it's a lot stressful. Like,
A lot of mind games.
Yeah, it's just all mind games. But that's a skill that you apply. If you're still using your body and mind, and you're still applying some type of tactics. Why can't tactics in an RTS setting
No, it's
be just using your mind for things? Like, I don't know. It's just, but apparently can have that. I mean, but it's not just people just drinking Mountain Dew. There's not people actually have real balanced diets. The real professional ones actually care about what they eat. They got to be on point all the time,
Really?
mentally on point. Dude, it's just not. It's just energy drinks all the time.
Yeah.
That's just generalizing.
Anyways.
That's just generalizing.
Yes, I am generalizing. I don't care.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's like if you really want to say that, it just takes a 2 liter of Mountain Dew, you're good. That's that's not esports.
You know what? Okay, it's not even. Dude, it's about this, dude.
I just feel
It's
like
about Michael Phelps going to the Olympics, training for 4 years to win those gold medals, and right next to him is fucking
the same person who
Daigo.
Yeah, but that's a person who's been training.
Yeah.
But even if let's assume Daigo, right?
Yeah.
He's been training in fundamentals from Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
And that's still carrying on the lineage of that type of play style to what he's playing now.
That's the thing. It's
the game that changed, but
if he could win a gold in that, it cheapens the other physical or the other Olympians. It cheapens their ability, their accomplishments to win a gold.
Well, I mean, if they did start introducing gaming or esports into the Olympics, what's to say that they couldn't just introduce more non-physical mind game type of games, like you said, like chess?
Right. Well, that should be like, I agree. That'd be cool, but why does it have to be Olympics?
dude, that should have been out.
I agree. Like, it could be its own thing, and it probably should be its own thing because it's so drastically different from a lot of the activities that happen in the Olympics. So it's kind of difficult to see that genre kind of fit into the Olympics.
Yeah. So I guess
I thought it was weird enough seeing like a Street Fighter V tournament on ESPN.
Oh yeah. Well, but see that
StarCraft and Heroes of
yeah,
Stone.
Oh yeah, those two.
And I think that's cool because E and ESPN stands for entertainment. So.
Yeah.
And well, anyways, to wrap that up, we got Daniel over here who who's to accept the esports to be the Olympics. I don't think so. Lewis is, well,
I think that it should stick to its own genre. I mean, I'm never against gaming being brought into the spotlight. You know, I love video games, so there's that. But I mean, I do believe that it kind of makes it more special when it stays within its own genre.
okay. Let's move on to, does esports just have to be versus? Can it be single player games too?
Well, it's already been like that. It's just the fact that it's more engaging for multiple people to play at once as a team. Plus, it's a little more enjoyable to watch compared to, let's say, I mean, they still have those documentary crap about, oh, I could beat Donkey Kong.
The King of Kong.
Yeah, I mean, that's well and good and all, but no one's going to sit there and watch a guy play that. You know.
Well, I think
Trying to beat the top score versus head-to-head combat, like something like Street Fighter.
But it's more like him hitting a record, because it's already a precedent. Like, here's these points I have to beat to pass them, right? So you're kind of just waiting for this guy to get near that point and then maybe surpass it.
Yeah.
Watching that whole process is kind of bad. You're not really, it's not really engaging of any type. When it's like an FPS game, Overwatch, for example, a lot of people are disputing that it's really bad to watch.
Yeah.
I was watching a subscriber turn on Twitch yesterday, and I was fucking excited as my ass. I actually got excited. Like, I jumped up a little bit because I'm like, oh, this should have done this, should have done that. But honestly, I already know what's going on, but there's a lot of that, a lot of people don't know what to see, and plus Blizzard hasn't built there and expect to know yet. But the thing is, though, it's like, that's exciting because it's like watching a sport. You see what's good, you see what's developing. Considering a guy that's doing like a world record.
Yeah.
He's just really literally building points up, but there's really nothing fancy that he's doing other than maybe just exploiting the game. There's really no it's a skill to get to that point, but it's not a skill that you want to watch.
Yeah.
You make some really good points there, but I think when it comes down to Donkey Kong and Galaga and stuff like that, the thing is that, they're not fun games to watch some play.
Yeah.
What if you changed out the game to like Super Mario Bros. 3, like in that one movie with Wizard, or if it was like Final Fight, or what if it was like something like Castlevania, or something more like or Metroid? How many points you could score, before you hit Brinstar,
That would be really hard to implement, considering out in the grand scope of things.
Assuming that Metroid has points.
Yeah.
Well,
or you can make your own, rather.
Or Contra. How about Contra?
I feel like games like those have kind of translated to speed runs more than just like points for the top score. And I think that's where the
yeah, speed runs are just time based, not point based.
But the thing is, that's also, you can kind of have a race on that and have it where they do on the HTC, they have actual speed run races.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, in a game like Super Mario, like there's points, right? But the only problem with that, compared to Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, it's finite. Donkey Kong keeps going. That's why you see so drastic points. Like another good example.
Actually, no, it finishes. But go ahead.
But why do they get so many points for it?
Huh? The game would what's it called? It'll end. It'll just.
There's only so many points that you can get within the game before you get to the end. Sure.
Yeah.
For Donkey Kong.
If you get to the last level after that, it kills. The game just ends.
I gotta verify that because I don't think, because I feel like there's off-road's like that in a way where that doesn't.
The off-road ends too.
Really?
Yeah, it does. The thing is just it repeats itself like 3 times, and then it'll end.
See, that's the thing. Then you probably have to have something. I think it might be more interesting if it's something where you can keep going as far as you can until you die. Almost like in a permadeath situation in a competitive mode.
Yeah. Well, how about this?
That'd be more fun because at least there's actual stakes. Because you die once, that's your points. Granted, people want to apply double elimination and whatnot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that's when it comes to like a tournament setting, I guess.
Well, then, what's called when it comes to points, though. Wouldn't it be cool, like in fighting games, you fought for points?
Well, I think that a lot of people want to just see head-to-head competition. I mean, I think, fighting for points is something that kind of left with the early 90s. With games like, Street Fighter, League of Legends. I think people just want to see head-to-head clashes. I don't think a lot of people, the mass majority of people out there that watch competitive gaming, they want to see, bone crunching. They want to see fighting head for head.
And that's why Street Fighter V is the way it is right now.
Exactly. I mean, but you can't argue with results. I mean, people enjoy those games for a reason.
Yeah, no, that's cool, and I think, and I agree. I think you need flashier moves, special moves like that, especially if you want to make your name on as the esport, as the league, and as a game on ESPN.
Yeah.
Because people, I personally, if I saw a tournament of Street Fighter 2 on ESPN, then I'll record that. I'll watch it over and over again. But that's because I was from the 90s, right? But nowadays, kids, they don't have patience for a game like that. They want to see, fireworks.
Just a lot of flash.
Well, it's not the patience for little kids. I mean, little kids can probably understand what's going on in Super Street Fighter 2, especially the latest with Turbo with the hyper edition, or the hyper, get the moves going, right, or the special moves. I think the one thing is it's easy to watch that game, but I don't think it's easy to play. Granted, like it is now, where it's easy to play a game and still look good. Whereas back then, what the people did when they did combos, you're crap, I can't do that.
Yeah,
that's a skill.
Well, but that's a game that's a thing that deteriorated over time in Street Fighter.
Yeah.
So I mean, other games still have a hardcore way to play, but you don't see those things around.
Well,
so.
that's the thing that's the thing.
It's not accessible.
I think the reason why is because it's more marketable to have an easier game for people to play.
Well, I think a lot of these systems are implemented into these games, whereas, like games like Street Fighter 2, like you had to find exploits, within the frames and
or they found you sometimes. That's how you figure it out.
Exactly.
What the hell happened?
Exactly. You let the game beat you, or let like the friend that you're playing with, destroy you until you finally figure out ways around.
You start finding mechanics and new technology.
Absolutely.
That's when the game. That's when, in the competitive aspect, that's when the game gets really fun.
Yeah.
Side note. That's the best part.
Here's the other thing, though. Is like, I don't think people have time to master a game like Street Fighter 2 or Mortal Kombat, so it has to be easier for the average kid to play it. And the reason why I say that is because back in the day, why people were able to master Street Fighter 2 was because the internet wasn't really prevalent. There was no online gaming, so people had to go to arcades and spend their Saturdays and Sundays, practicing. It became so good at it that it spawned this tournament stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that has to do a lot with it, because now, whether the community is big or not, it's hard for me to tell because I don't have any numbers to base on it. But now, people have hobbies to do whatever they want. They do, it's not all about fighting games anymore. With the internet, you can do this and that. And I think people don't have the patience to do that anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think.
Did I just talk to myself? Or?
No. Well, no. I think that I think that it is big enough for people. Big enough that there are enough people to kind of enjoy these games, both on a casual level and on a competitive level. Games like
as a spectator or as a player?
As a player,
okay.
And as a spectator. I mean, like I can't play games like MKX for anything, but I love watching it.
City, man.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. I remember watching MKX when I worked at Sony. One of my friends was really good. He went to Evo, got like top 50. It was his first time going there. He's really good. Thing is though, watching that, it was like, this is really cool. It's cool. But then I saw him practicing it, like just trying to figure out how to play a game, get combos going, and that's when it's like, that game looks really boring as hell. Because it's just all about trying to catch, and it's just not, once you get the initiation going, it's just go.
Yeah, it's a systematic series of button presses, and it's a lot of fighting games are kind of like like how to juggle your opponent though. Yeah. Well, these days anyway.
Yeah, it is now. Back then it was kind of it was more of a.
It was more about zoning. It was more about finding exploits.
Yeah. But when you get the combos, it's just like it's more like a side relief. Like, oh man, I can pull that off. I can extend my damage just by a little bit. But it wasn't a mechanic now that now they literally are just juggling for you.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, oh, that doesn't really explain much.
Yeah.
But like changing gears, both literally and figuratively. How come they don't introduce racing games to esports, if there's not already? Imagine if they had F-Zero X for the N64 and Esports. I'm
That would
going
be
to quit this channel and go ahead and practice right now.
Yeah.
I'm all about that game.
You know, that's a good question because I always wondered myself.
Or,
'Cause I love.
dude, what if they did a Daytona USA as an esport?
The thing is, I don't
I could
think.
see that as a. Well, actually, you know what? It's kind of hard to consider because in real life, when you're racing, you kind of don't want to crash into people.
Yeah.
You're more liable to crash into someone on purpose in this game and get out scot-free in other games.
Well, in real life, when
there's-
you're playing a fighting game, you don't really want to kill somebody, but you end up killing them in Mortal Kombat. So.
Oh yeah. The thing is though, that's the objective. Here you're racing, but you can actually play dirty and get away with things.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. No, I'm literally get play dirty without sacrificing your own car.
Yeah.
Like
But is that a good thing or a bad thing?
that's kind of a. I mean,
You get away with it because it's an esport.
well, if it's an esport, if the game was made to the point where at least when people make racing games, they don't think, oh, well, let's think about how the guy's gonna die. They don't think about that, like how the driver's gonna die, or how the driver's gonna get affected, or the car's gonna get affected. It's just like, oh, your car's flipped over, we're gonna reset it.
Oh, it'll get better.
Gran Turismo, like, oh, go off the track, or you bump someone, oh, you're penalized. You move it. Like there's little things that they're just trying to, stop from people like cheating or they're like playing dirty. But in real life, you don't see that. There's no penalizes.
I don't know.
There's more stakes in real life than there's a video game because they don't allow it. Because you can't just, I fucked up in this game. Oh, no, I'm not going to ostracize from the community of real racing. I'm just going to turn off my game and go do something else,
Yeah.
It's just like, you just cut your consequences off.
So that's why it shouldn't be an esport? Or
No, I just feel
I
like
don't understand where you're coming from.
it's just not, racing shouldn't, it just doesn't make sense to have it as an esport, because at least in a head-to-head fashion. Because
Why not?
It's just you can get away with all that dirty crap, and then cut
Like an F-Zero or Rock and Roll Racing? Or Twisted Metal?
But that's if we go to like the non. I'm talking about like Gran Turismo, maybe Forza. I'm talking about not
Well,
like arcade.
I started off the conversation with Daytona and F-Zero X. F-Zero X being
Well, yeah,
not
but
real.
if you play Daytona versus though, that's the thing I have,
Yeah.
and it's not even remotely fun. Because you can get away with just knocking people off. That's not the objective. You just gotta race. There's no objective to race. The objective is say fight now. It's like no.
But dude, a win is a win.
I guess in the
Right?
balance of the game,
Right?
but
A win is a win, right?
Absolutely, a win is a win.
It doesn't
but
matter if you win by little or
when
by
you
a
see
lot.
the same old dirt tactics being used over and over again,
And it's like-
that's when it becomes kind of boring to watch.
but that's the thing. Like if
the thing is
you see
here-
some guy pulling dirt tags in real life, there's a consequence.
Okay,
after the fact.
dude, this is esports, not real racing.
But that's where you need to have but yeah, you don't want to watch a meta of a game where they're taking
the
a
thing
turn,
is,
they're
it's
all
like-
chained up together just to take turns
The
because they're all
thing-
trying to rub up against each other because no one knows how to drive.
It's like you're trying to. I don't understand though. You're saying that in NASCAR, people shouldn't be bumping against each other because it does happen. Dale Earnhardt did it.
But enough to like just to
Dude,
destroy
he
the other
fucking-
person's
dude,
race.
This guy fucking pushed people off the car, dude. He pushed people off the track. Dale Earnhardt. That's why they called him the Intimidator.
Ugh, that's disgusting.
Okay, so. All right, okay.
But I'm just
let's
thinking-
let's
but
take
I'm-
away the Gran Turismo part of it,
All right.
and then have an esport racing game like Mario Kart. Don't bump into me. Don't use a blue shell. That's what you're saying.
But the thing is, so Mario Kart's like a really bad example because that's all based on luck the majority of the time. Especially nowadays.
Oh wait,
where
wait,
back then-
randomizer.
dude. Okay, here's a chance to redeem yourself.
No, go
Because
ahead,
apparently-
tell me
because
about
apparently
this.
you say you could avoid a blue shell.
Yeah, and Double Dash because that was a mechanic.
Okay.
That's not allowed in other games anymore.
Okay, but what if they had an esport game for Double Dash? Because a lot of people do agree that Double Dash is probably the apex of a Mario Kart.
There are ways to avoid the blue shell
Yeah,
in Mario Kart with items.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
So-
we're talking. But the only my point of reference here is the Double Dash one
Yeah.
because that's where you literally would be able to drift away from
So
it.
so is it luck
I'm
to
not
avoid
talking
the
about
blue shell?
items because
Pieces
no,
of items,
because
yeah.
the latest one's that horn, right?
Yes.
Yeah. See, that just nullifies.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I say. Like, there's no other ways besides without having the use of an item, but you get by random luck.
Yeah.
So it's not luck that you can avoid a blue shell.
Only in Double Dash, but actually, it's just like really strict timing because there's a time where the shell's moving.
So you
like
could
that.
do it, right?
It
In
can be
Double
done.
Dash.
Yeah, okay,
Double
Double
Dash,
Dash.
yeah.
So you take Double Dash into esports, all right? You could literally
But-
say that there's no luck involved.
No, you're playing all those items though.
Huh?
That's still garbage. You don't play with items. The items ruin everything, especially when it's based on your places, not based on how you get the items.
But you just told me that the blue shell, which is like the the top tier weapon in Mario Kart.
In
You
Double
could
Dash.
avoid it
In Double Dash only.
in Double Dash. And you're not listening to my argument here. What if the esport game was only Double Dash and you could avoid the blue shell?
I probably wouldn't play it. I still wouldn't play it.
Okay, not many people can avoid the blue shell, and you're saying that you can, right? And you know, just to put on the record, you know, we could actually put together footage of him doing it. It's true.
No, I'm pretty
You still
sure
won't play
people know
it?
how to do No, not in the esports.
So what if
way.
you're like you're the only person that can do it? Where
there'd
did
be
you
no
want to be like,
competition.
hey, I'm gonna, you know?
Well, the thing is, if I was the only one to ever do it, and I would tell people how to do it, other people would actually learn how to do it.
So
as well.
wouldn't that even the game, the playing field?
Maybe not. I don't know. Because honestly, when you get hit, every time I do get hit by a shell, when we are playing, and mind you guys, when you guys are playing, you guys are pretty far back. So when I get hit with the shell, anyways, I don't really nothing really happens. But in esports, where everyone's fucking driven like the best in the world, whew, that's a little different. You know, I might be sweating it a little bit, but
Well, that's the
But
point
in
of
the
a
casual
competitive esports, though, is that you know it
Yeah.
pushes you to do better.
but but you can't get
Gosh.
better in an RNG based type of game. It's just not because there's always something else that's not
Okay,
skill
all
based.
right,
I'll take
all
it
right.
down.
No, okay, no items. What about a game like F-Zero?
F-Zero? That would be all right.
Huh?
You can still damage people though. But
Well, that's the
Knock them
purpose of the
into
game,
the
though.
sides.
You know,
And you have the
you're
health meter.
supposed not only that, but there's indicators telling you, you know, where your opponents are.
yeah, watch your back.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't understand where you're coming from.
But that's
like,
different. That's a
racing
different
games-
game altogether, though.
But it's still a racing game, though. I'm sure. I guess my thing
Mario's
is
a party game on wheels.
Yes, exactly. A racing game, but yeah, completely
I
different
mean,
genre.
I could rip on people about the
racing
game
game.
being bad or good. I'm like,
my thing is just like, why does esport only has to pertain to fighting games and StarCraft?
I think it just boils down to
because it's just probably a bigger
That's-
competitive community that just grows from it.
yeah, it's the most fun to watch overall. I mean, that's not to say that, you know, like I'm sure that, you know, games like Double Dash, if they had a large enough following, that would probably make it big into the competitive scene. I mean, there's a reason why Evo evolved into what it did. It's because
Fighting
people
games.
love watching fighting games. It's digestible. It's easy. The rounds are quick. It
looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
big.
Yeah, it's easy and it's fun to watch. I mean,
I mean, it's probably more relatable because if you're just people seeing that in general. Because if you're watching an RTS game, if I didn't know about, if I never played RTS, I'd be like, really?
no, same here. I mean,
like this is boring to me.
No offense. I mean, if you enjoy watching League of Legends stuff like that's you. But like sometimes I'll watch games like League of Legends, or something in RTS, StarCraft, and I'll just wonder like what am I watching? There's a lot of little dudes on the screen, and like it again. That's just me and how I see things. I mean, I feel like with fighting games, it's simple, it's easy, it's digestible. You can see two big characters beating the crap out of each other on screen.
It's
And
like a fighting too. It's not
yeah.
like it's not like you're fighting a dude like on the other side of a base or the other side of a world or something.
Exactly.
It's
And matches don't last any longer than about 5 minutes. I mean, it's it kind of makes sense for this day and age too. Like we have a lot of things that are digestible now. Like I feel like this generation, is you like needs things that are just kind of quick to watch. Sit down and watch, and then move on with your day. Like I don't get me wrong, I don't really follow a lot of the like the lingo, and like I'm not a big fighting game aficionado, but I can sit down, I can watch it, and not know anything about it. Whereas League of Legends, I feel like, or an RTS. I'm sorry, now I keep on saying League of Legends, but there's a lot more out there.
or just say MOBA.
Yeah,
MOBA's more because
Yeah.
it's like in between art because RTS is like you're literally just watching Excel games.
Okay, yeah, well, MOBA
It's
then.
Excel.
Like games like like 1v1, Street Fighter, Injustice, Mortal Kombat, things like that. It's quick, it's fun, like you sit down, watch it, you move on.
Well, you know what? I think we're three-sided on this subject.
Man,
Perhaps later on we should invite the fighting game champ to join us later on, and we won't reveal who that is, just in case he decides not to show up or agree not to do it.
He's too cool for us.
Yeah, he's too cool. He actually recently won a regional Street Fighter tournament a couple days ago.
Oh, the local one, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think we should,
one thing too you got to consider. I remember this is brought to racing. A lot of people keep track of times more than they do one-on-one races. That's how you actually test your skill on something, because it's on. There's no way to throw off a racer in a time attack. Like if you're a fixture like, hey, I got my time is like 1:05 on this track, I'm the best. Beat it.
Yeah. So do you suggest racing someone with Ghost?
Yeah, racing on a time attack.
But let's assume that we have to go to a place and race, right?
Yeah.
Best thing you can do is just 3 races, average them out. What's your best time out of those 3 laps you did?
Oh yeah.
There's stuff like that. But anything that deviates of, I could get in your line in racing, because that's the one thing too. Another thing why people, if it feels like multiplayer online, they could be pushing all over.
Now we just got to take that concept and find a way to make it
fun.
Fun for the general audience.
No, that's legitimately the hardest part, because no one. I mean, I can sit there and watch people qualifying in racing, like F1 or whatnot.
Yeah.
I can sit there, that's kind of cool, because I just like cars. But when I want to watch someone do it on a game, I don't know about that. It's gonna be kind of. It's
a very niche sort of a thing.
I don't know. For me, I get excited when I see time attacks, because you especially like in Mario Kart, where there's a lot of shortcuts, or even again going back to F-Zero X, right? Where there's parts where you can cut across the track, and some of these guys, in other racing games, they like hairline, hug the tracks, and it's just, for me, it's fun to see.
Oh no, I love those. I love seeing exploits in gaming. Watching things like AGDQ. Seeing how a game could be broken. This game that you once enjoyed playing with your friends just gets completely demolished, and these exploits are found that were right in front of your face, but you didn't quite that you didn't really know about. That's amazing to me. Unfortunately, I don't think that it could catch enough wind, at least right now, for this generation, or the general audience to enjoy. I mean, I can mention Street Fighter to almost anybody, and I know what that is. They at least know what Street Fighter is, versus I don't know, just let's say F-Zero or something like that.
Just an obscure racing game, really.
Mario Kart is pretty well known, though.
It's well known, yeah.
But on that big of a competitive level,
it's not.
I don't feel like a lot of people.
Well, yeah, a lot of racing
consider anything outside of a party game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and I understand what you mean. It's like that's why I broached the subject, because I feel like racing games should be in esports, but it's at a point where it's not sought after as fighting games or RTS games.
No, absolutely not.
Cool.
No.
So
battle mode was an esport on Mario Kart 64.
Oh yeah.
That would literally have people commit homicide outside.
Well, hopefully not. But
can you elaborate on that?
Well, considering because I played at work. I brought it to. We had an N64 there, and I brought Mario. Let's go play some battle mode. We held talk shit. So we raced for a bit.
Yeah.
And we're like, fine, let's do battle mode. Run it all through there. Battle mode. Thing is, it gets fun, but then it gets to the point where you know how to exploit like a clean death, like all balloons gone in one.
Yeah.
And granted, that happened a couple of times. It gets really annoying because, granted, maybe if it was a team-based game, it might be a little different.
Yeah.
But in this one, you can literally just kill someone, and because the way you tumble in the game, there's no invulnerability.
Yeah.
Or there's invulnerability, but once that balloon goes away, again, slap him in the ass.
Well,
boom, 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 tumble again. Again, boom, boom. And you have 3 shells.
Sure, yeah.
You're screwed.
Well, doesn't that kind of go back into the whole blue shell argument? There's only going to be a few people that really know how to avoid that, but on the whole, you're just going to watch one dude.
But that's the thing, everyone can avoid it, but once you get trapped, there's nothing to get out of it. There's no way to get out of that situation.
Okay.
Unless someone else comes in with a Starman and plows at you, but that's rare.
Yeah.
Because usually when people are getting butt fucked in the corner like that, They're everyone else is only just watching, making sure the enemy dies in the hindsight. They don't care.
That's what they call getting Mario Karted.
Yeah.
When you're just continuously being destroyed left and right.
You can add more into the injury. Do it with the Starman and then kill the bomb right after. It's even worse. That's when you really cause someone to hit high blood pressure.
And they say that game is rated E for everyone. There should be M because you're taking one from the front and one from the back and one from the side.
Just like Chris did that one time. Here comes the pain train.
The pain train.
Hey, but you know what?
Nothing. Yeah, go on. No, I know.
Since we're in Mario 64, let's transition to N64 and PlayStation 1. And we were discussing prior to this. We were discussing off air about console wars and how the original console war was between Nintendo and Sega, and it was kind of fairly even. Sega was a little bit more mature, and Nintendo was more family friendly, but they were both 16-bit systems. But later on in the 90s, we had the Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1, having 32 bits and the N64 64 bits, whereas the PS1 had a compact disc, and you could play full motion video. And a lot of developers could build, make as many games as you want for this one, whereas N64 was really more regulated and cartridge based.
It stuck to a lot of its first party games.
Yeah,
I mean there were a lot of third party games out there, but on the whole, I mean the most memorable ones were the first party games. Things like Mario 64.
I agree, because we don't like Superman 64. Wave Race was a badass game.
Wave Race,
Mario 64, or Mario 64 itself.
GoldenEye.
Which is still probably the best one still. GoldenEye came out, Star Fox. What else? BioFreaks, that was third party. That was good though.
BioFreaks came out for the PS1.
Yeah. That's weird, because I only played on the 64.
Yeah.
Granted, the Bioware one, it's the one, BioFreaks. The PS1 one actually looks a little better.
Oh, okay.
It was great.
Point is, I believe there's only like a handful of good N64 games, right?
So tell me, where do you guys feel like the real battle between the console within the console war started? I mean, do you think that it really kind of started with Sega versus Nintendo?
And definitely, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
That it started with that Sega and Nintendo.
Yeah.
But
it just got insane once Microsoft got involved.
Yeah, once Microsoft got involved, and then it was
Sony versus Nintendo.
Microsoft and Nintendo. That's where it got heated. It was like a triple threat match.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been cool to see like Sega in the mix, but they came out way too early.
Yeah.
So
they tried.
That's unfortunate.
But we can save that for another discussion.
Yeah.
We want to talk the differences and basically the competition between N64 and PS1. We're not really going to talk about Dreamcast or Sega Saturn.
That's another episode.
Yeah, I love the Dreamcast, but those guys, this bit get real.
It was gone from us too soon.
Yeah, and not only that, it's just the ones that people really were talking about was N64 and PS1.
I will say, just really quick about the Dreamcast, it did try to be ambitious with a lot of its...
Well, dude, it's like ahead of its time with a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, it was ambitious. Yeah. But yeah...
it's unfortunate how some games still look better on that than do on like PS4 and 3.
Street Fighter 3 looks better on that one than any other iteration.
Yeah. It's just nuts.
My console of choice... that really is hard to choose because
between those two.
But yeah, between the PlayStation 1 and the Nintendo 64, I think the N64 had a lot of star power. I think the PS1 had a lot of variety. Daniel, you were talking about how or I think it was Omero, it's one of you guys. You guys kind of explained that. The PS1 had a lot of options, a lot of them maybe not so good. I kind of disagree with that because I feel like as time went on, the PS1 really did find its legs, and they did come out with a lot of heavy hitters that did kind of show up the Nintendo 64.
This was funny. I don't know, but do you mean show the 64 as in the type of game or the
software-wise,
or just like the actual
just
capabilities?
Just game-wise. I feel like it did have a lot more options.
I agree.
Even performance-wise, Nintendo 64 was kind of stuck to a cartridge, so you didn't get to see a full FMVs versus Sony PlayStation 1.
But it wasn't really much of a hamper. Like the FMVs weren't necessary at the time. They were cool. It's still low res as hell.
For kids that don't know nowadays, in the 90s was all about FMV, dude. It's like
to see a
cutscenes
full
and that.
movie in your game was a sight to behold. Yeah,
And not only that, but dude, it was terrible resolution, and I ate it up, dude. I loved it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's because we grew and we saw things in resolution got a lot better as time went on. But absolutely, for its time, I kind of feel like PS1 kind of won that battle. I mean,
I'll say maybe
not that
now,
not that. Well,
I think nowadays Nintendo's the third wheel.
Well, yeah, but Nintendo doesn't have anything to worry about. Nintendo kind of does its own thing. No, not anymore. Absolutely not.
I think they're slowly getting common sense now.
Yeah,
but they're still in the past.
Yeah.
Thing is though, why I say that's not really like the PS1's the best thing. The only reason I say it, maybe the PS1 is very cool because you just have better access to more games, better controller.
Yeah.
Better controller, definitely. That controller, yeah.
Yeah, it's still the best one. But when it comes to 64, I feel like I had the most fun with people on that one than I did the PS1.
Well, yeah. There's another dynamic. It had 4 players instant
built
right
into your system.
PS1
absolutely.
was still stuck with 2 players.
And I mean, granted, the split scheme was like really, really bad, but we had like vivid imaginations back then, so we kind of just knew what we were looking at and what we were shooting
imaginations, exactly. Yeah.
So it didn't really matter. Like when we were playing Golden, it's like I could just see a blob in the corner. Like, I'm just gonna aim for the head.
Yeah, just aim for aim in the general direction.
And
hope that you hit something.
But that's the thing, though. Like, I guess when it comes down to single player and maybe some fighting games, PS1 is probably like the coolest thing in the world because for one, you got Final Fantasy, you got all Street Fighter, all the outlets.
I'm sorry, I had something stuck in my throat.
No, to be honest though, like that's
sorry guys.
Final Fantasy VII.
Honestly, that's the reason why PS1's even good.
I don't care what anybody.
That's the only reason why it's on the map.
That's my favorite game.
I mean,
you know what? Really, realistically, I think
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think the apex, the crescendo, the PS1 was Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
The reason why it was a 2D game, but that 2D game used every resource that the PlayStation had to make it look like a beautiful, artistic game.
Yeah,
dude, it's a game that is still being soundtrack and it's still being mimicked today. People are like, everybody's like, oh, check out this that new game that's like, this game's just like Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, that's what they call them.
That's why it's so damn good because people are still trying to get that same actor.
Yeah, that's the genre now, which is really loose now because Metroidvania can account for it's just an open world adventure game. It's an open world action RPG.
Yeah.
Which I wish is more of the case because imagine having like a Zelda like that, a side-scrolling Zelda. I'd pay for that.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
But you have things like that. But that's what I wish I brought that up because Final Fantasy is cool and all. But yeah, Castlevania Symphony of the Night is probably like my favorite game. PS1 wise, like there's no man. The fact that we played without the internet back then, we heard from magazines. We figured out about the fucking what do you call it? The upside down castle and how to get there. The whole time we were playing to the end, fight Richter. Yeah, game's over. Then there's another 100%.
Congratulations! Now do it again, but backwards.
Oh, so fun. The top dude. Oh my god.
Or upside down rather.
New weapons. That's what's scary about it. Because pretty much what they just did, but they gave you DLC in that same disc.
Yes.
New weapons. Granted, some sprites are new monsters.
Oh boy.
Whole new set of bosses.
Yep.
Whole new set of buffs per boss that you get for your character. You get it's just like one of those little things. Sorry for the tapping. It's one of those
it's my Twitch. I need a fidget spinner.
I got one in the car.
Oh boy!
I bought it out of curiosity. I really don't. I spun it once. I'm like, what the fuck is this for?
I'll have to see if those things work.
And plus, it's not even whatever. Anyways,
but Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, but you had all this extra content beyond the first castle.
Sure.
And it was just ridiculous. I'm like, and it just felt so mysterious too because, granted, it's because I didn't know anything about the whole game at all. You can't just Wikipedia back then.
Yeah.
So you had to search everything. There was rooms in that game where I was like, what's the idea behind this room? It's literally an empty room. There's nothing here, but it feels like there should have been something here.
And then you go in the reverse castle. It's like
absolutely.
Yeah. But then really the only thing that really bites my ass about the whole thing is that I think it was the Sega Saturn edition is probably the most fleshed out one because that still has the Japanese hidden room in
the garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it actually has the intro prior to going into the castle.
Yeah, and I think that's where you can still play as Mario, I believe. It's not gonna be
Mario
and
Richter you can play as too. Yeah.
Which, by the way, was probably okay. This is one of the weird things about I gotta explain about Castlevania, which a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah.
Is that you can play the game normally, right? But there's that just one code that I forgot what the name was, like exclamation point V something Q something this. But what it'll do, it'll reduce all your stats to like really low.
Yeah.
And increase your luck to 99. So essentially, it was in a way it was like the most challenging part of the game because you can just literally get 3-shotted until you get better gear later on. But the fun thing about it is like the hard aspect and at least the most rewarding part is that you got 99 luck. So that means you crit most of the time. You get all the cool gear most of the time. So once you get like really solid gear at the beginning, you're kind of good to go. But the game was still hell hard. Like for instance, that you guys remember that one boss at the very end, or the upside down boss, the giant Egyptian looking one?
Yes.
It took me. I recorded this too. It took me a half hour to beat him because I was so fucking weak. Like that's how hard it was on that mode. I'm like, dude, I'm just in like, come on, just hitting his foot all day.
Well, but
it was fun though. That was a cool challenge.
That was, what was so awesome about that game was like you can get different items, different weapons, to make.
Literally did playthroughs like that. I played games like I want to use fist weapons or I'm gonna use this one. It's fun, but that's the fun thing. It had that for me. It felt like because I obviously being a PC gamer still. I was playing Diablo 1 and 2 at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. Getting gear.
Absolutely. Getting your loot drops.
Gather it all.
but I guess that was my point with PlayStation 1 versus Nintendo 64. Both very special consoles for me. I started out wanting, before I had either of those systems, I started out wanting a Nintendo 64 more than anything. And I remember specifically begging my mom, was like at the time, it's like, please, get us this Nintendo 64. We have to have it, like games like Banjo-Kazooie, because I was a big platforming fan, back then. I still am, but that's all I want to do is play all these platformers, and the idea of a 3D platformer, Mario 64, Donkey Kong 64 didn't come out until a little later, I believe, but
that was rough.
It really was.
What's rough? It's getting to Banjo-Kazooie. Exactly. I don't know how you got to that game.
I don't know why.
I not only did I get through
that
it,
shit,
not only did I get through it, I 100%ed it. Yeah, I found.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
That's my claim to fame right there.
Pixar didn't happen, did it?
But see, that's what's funny too, because even from there, of course, from there, Rare did Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah.
That game I didn't get to play fully at all. All I did was fucking cheat and just get to all the sections because I just wanted to see the damn cutscenes. The Matrix one was hilarious. The shit one was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
The shit opera, and then you have it's just all the segments, like the bosses and all the cutscenes lead to were all great. Granted, the meat of the game was kind of boring. Multiplayer for that was underrated, I think, though.
Okay, so let's start off with N64. What was your favorite game in N64, Daniel?
Jesus Christ, that's a hard one.
Okay, well, you know what my favorite game is? Because obviously this question is for me. Diddy Kong Racing. Diddy Kong Racing was the best game on N64. And here's a bold statement. For me, top 5 game of all time. All time, dude.
It was a fun game. But why is it that was your favorite game? I mean, there's a lot to choose from.
There was story mode in there, like at Mario 64.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was battle mode, like in Mario Kart 64. There was racing mode.
That was a hard one.
Right. There was time attack mode.
All right.
Dude, there were secrets and everything you could find, unlockable characters. Dude, that thing had everything.
So it had a lot more than Mario 64.
It had, dude, that game was a total package.
Well,
no. Kind of a game.
You don't want to say 64. You mean Mario Kart, right?
Mario Kart.
Yeah, because Mario Kart was just straight. This one was straight. It was like an adventure game.
Sorry, friend. I meant Mario Kart.
An adventure game with wheels, or propellers now too, and hoverboard or hover cars, which is weird because
different. That's right. I totally forgot about that.
Different vehicle options.
Yeah.
In different modes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also had overworld exploring mode too, whichever vehicle you want.
Yeah.
And a story mode. Dude, that game was a total package. I'm telling you, dude.
I guess
That's why I say it's a top 5. Dude, that game has like there's 5 games in one.
Soundtrack was really good.
Soundtrack was
Yeah.
good.
Didn't it have some characters from Banjo-Kazooie and
Conker was in it.
yeah.
The Croc
PC
from
Conker.
yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
He's the
PC
original.
Conker.
Before the cursing, yeah.
Banjo
Beaver guy.
Kazooie was in
Yeah.
it.
The
Banjo.
Beaver guy was cool. I forgot his name though.
I thought a Kremling was in it too.
Yeah, the Croc.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're basically all the
Drumsticks,
characters
man.
are there were supposed to be from the N64 titles.
Drumsticks the shit though. I don't know what you guys. I don't know.
Or TT, man.
TT, that guy was so hard to get though.
Drumstick, wasn't that the
The rooster.
The
You
roo- yeah,
had
the
to run him
rooster.
over. You had to run over the
Yeah.
frog, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a character now." I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and not only that, but the game also had a end game boss.
yeah.
You know,
Multiple.
and
a lot
like
of-
dude,
lot
like
of
the
boss
last,
fights, too.
yeah, a lot of boss fights, and like I think in the last boss fight, it was like it was like flying in the trench run of a Star Wars. Dude.
No, that
'Cause
was
you-
actually a stage.
Oh yeah, dude.
But
Dude.
no, you're right. Like some
I'm
of the races
telling
are
you.
really hard. Like I think the last one.
Yeah, it was a challenging game too.
Yeah, because I remember one. I believe. I
Not,
forget
not
what-
like
I forget what-
not like the cream puff games of today. You know.
Yeah.
Do you think it's one of those games that just like Mario Kart would deserve like a new iteration?
They already did have an iteration.
Well, they had
But
like
even
the
like
DS.
you mean like a new like
But-
not a redone.
No,
you mean like a
no,
new game.
but
You know
like a
what?
newer Diddy Kong Racing.
I'm
I
gonna,
don't think
you
they
know
won't
what?
pull the same. They
I
won't have the
don't.
same magic.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, it won't be the same. If they try to redo
That's
it, they'll be like,
unfortunate.
"Oh, let's see how much better we can do it."
What's to say that they couldn't, create
Well,
a better game? Like Mario 64 did kind of improve upon.
Oh yeah,
or Mar-
Improve on what?
I'm sorry, not Mario 64.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Mario Kart.
lay some shit
Mar-
on
Mar-
it.
Double Dash.
Mario Kart Double Dash. Yeah, a game like that. Like that kind of built on.
As much as I rip on the game, it's still my favorite.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing game, but like it built on an already existing mechanic, and it was really fun for everybody. What's to say that Diddy Kong Racing couldn't do that?
I'm not saying that they couldn't. It's just for me. I think it'll be rose tinted glasses. They'll come out with. It's like when they redid GoldenEye on
the
Steam.
GameCube.
Or
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
the source one?
yeah.
Or was it GameCube that they
No,
were
that was the title.
That was
but
a
it wasn't-
different game,
They were just
yeah.
trying to use the name of it for popular. It wasn't really.
But it's like when
Yeah.
they remade. It's like they remade GoldenEye, right? They
Yeah.
remade Turtles in Time. We
Oh,
know
might have
we
been.
last week we talked
Yeah,
about how
we
great
showed.
that was, and that's what I'm talking about with the remake for Diddy.
Yeah, that's why I don't think. Yeah, if they make a new one. I mean, they did the remake. I mean, which is fine, but if they make a new one, that's the problem. I don't think they're really going to pull it off.
Yeah.
Plus, a lot of
So-
people don't like Diddy Kong and Smash Brothers, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
dude,
He used
we
to be
got,
my-
we got some Diddy haters.
He used to be my boy. Then Smash Bros came around. I'm like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
He ain't funny no more.
All about cheek.
All right, so
I swear.
what would you say your favorite N64 game is?
Fuck, see, that's the hard thing about
Since
it.
I just gushed about
I know that's the thing.
Diddy Kong Racing.
That's the thing because
While you're thinking,
It's hard.
That's for me. For the N64, that was the best game for the S.
Yeah.
to be honest,
I mean,
maybe,
it's up there with GoldenEye. Maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know. Looking back, I think probably the one I enjoyed the most, at least for myself, would probably be Star Fox 64.
Oh, that's a
That
good one
was,
too.
not to mention it came with a rumble pack, but that was like the first game where, I kind of felt for the characters, like you actually they fleshed them out more. Because in the first one you hear like just them saying gibberish, now they were talking. I'm like, oh shit. Peppy was cool. Peppy was old. He wasn't like annoying. Slippy was just like the cool like mechanic. Everyone hated him, but at the same time, like dude, if it wasn't for this guy, you wouldn't have none of this shit.
Yeah.
Then you have Falcon just being a hard ass the whole
Yep.
time. But either way you say, hey man, that was for me. It's like, well, fuck you then. It's like, let you die. But you had like the side character like Bill. You had that one chick in the purple cat, I think is her name, which they didn't even bring back.
Yeah.
Fuck
Oh,
that new
thank
one.
God.
Start talking about Ben. They brought Crystal in, but not Cat. Yeah. Anyways.
Hey, what about
I
Star
thought-
Wolf, dude? Star Wolf.
Oh,
was
Star Wars.
fantastic.
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
That's okay.
Star Wolf
that's-
and his crew.
That when he showed the first time, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And it's like, oh, we're Star Wars. Like,
Can't let you do that, Star Fox.
And it's hearing that. Yeah. First of all, he sounded fucking elegant because he's fucking British. Then you have fucking Leon.
Did
Pigma.
they get him confused with the other guys? The other Star Fox team?
Which guy?
Remember the one mission where you have to destroy the space alien ship, like in '94?
I thought that was Star Wolf.
Is this Star Wolf?
That was
'Cause,
Star Wolf.
there was also the bad guy team too.
No, Star Wars was
Star
back
Wars.
then. No, you're thinking of the one where you're fighting a cell at the end, but then like they come in and help. They not
Yeah,
help
there's
you, but-
another like Star Fox style of a team.
No, that's Star Wars. Yeah,
That is Star Wolf?
That
Yeah.
is Star Wolf, yes.
Oh, right, because then they betray you afterwards, right?
No, they don't betray you. They just always been like the rival. They never
okay.
they never really got into. There was never really a backstory for it. I'm pretty sure some bullshit fan.
They were
canon
renegades
comic
that
out there.
kind of did their own thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, what was really cool about it was that he was pretty
was-
much like the Vegeta group. Like,
Yeah,
that was like
Yeah.
it was the Sonic. It was the Knuckles
the
to their
Knuckles.
Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fucking cool. Like that's what's funny. That's why I like 64 a lot. They established all these cool characters, and I really liked them. Like, granted, you see Falco and
They were the
Fox.
Disney of video games.
Yeah, and it was just a good. It was a good IP, and I'm kind of glad they kept going with it, minus Star Fox Adventures, because the last one that was really good in my opinion, which is not GameCube or not 64, but what really elaborated on all the characters was Star Fox Assault, where it actually had where
The
Wolf
DS
was-
game.
No.
Star Fox
the
Assault.
on GameCube, the one that Namco made.
Oh yeah, okay.
The
That
one that
one.
actually had ridiculously good music. It was all like it sounded just orchestrated, like typical Namco style.
Yeah.
You have Wolf that turned into a fucking father figure for Fox, which
Yeah.
is really weird because I don't know how they got to that. But he's just teaching Fox like, you should learn your shit.
Was that still the same voice actor, or
I think he changed up a little bit.
because I know that in Smash Brothers they had the kind of the gruff.
Yeah. The other one he was kind of like he was kind of gruff. He was like gruffy brawl.
The first one talked like Dudley
Wait.
from Street Fighter Third Strike.
What's that?
No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's crazy about that, and Hermione and Star Wolf was cool in that too, because they were still like they had like the whole pirate outpost in that. You had to go invade it.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell are you guys doing here? But the thing that's cool is that after that, Star Wolf actually helps them out.
Yeah.
And that's when it becomes true. They actually help you at the very end, at the last stage, and like that's fucking legit. And then
Yeah.
it'd be cool to see just Wolf and Fox doing their shit. But anyways, that's why 64 was just good. Just had all the introduction for everything. I mean,
Yeah.
just Super Nintendo was, oh man, it's kind of cool. It's like you had these cool characters, but they didn't really flesh them out. There's really no like you had like crew banter
Yeah.
in the next one. Those actual crew.
I think they were finding their legs with Super Nintendo, and then when 64 hit, they had a good thing going, and then it's definitely one of those franchises that did evolve and did add in new mechanics.
But you know what's funny though? That's the only one where I actually really did care about the characters, and it's funny too because I could call around and say, oh yeah, Metro is like their most serious franchise, but no, it's not because they don't even care about it enough. Because no one talks in it. She barely talked in the game that's not even made by them. But in this one, with the original one, Star Fox 64, God, you just had this really serious group. They weren't trying to be funny. Nothing was goofy. They were just a crew. It's just like I don't know what it was. It felt like it was just grounded. It was really grounded.
I think that there was definitely a lot more drama in a game like Star Fox versus Metroid, where it's kind of like isolation. You're meant to feel alone. Games like like Super Metroid, obviously, amazing game.
Well, it's kind of funny though because like you say that, but at the same time, like I kind of go back to what Doom was about, is that, or at least when John Carmack was mentioning what the character was.
Yeah.
He's just saying it's you. And that's what I felt when it came to Super Metroid. Like, this is me doing myself.
Yeah.
I'm still playing the character. I know it's Samus, and she's a female. But
Wait, Samus is a female?
No, she's a
I'm just-
transvestite. No, but that's the thing, though. I already knew she was,
This guy over here.
I already knew she was a
This
character,
guy.
right? But the problem was that
Metroid's a girl?
Metroid.
No, I don't think the Metroid actually has a gender.
She's
Oh, I'm sorry, not a gender. Was it a gender? Is it?
fluid.
No, what's the scientific term?
A sex?
Asexual?
It doesn't have the sex.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
But no, but you just play the character as yourself, and it was kind of cool because you felt like you were bad at it. Like, I can do like double jumps, wall jumps, and whatnot. When it comes to fucking Star Fox, so you're seeing what they're talking about. Fox is having his own issues. Oh, he sees his dad because he's hallucinating on.
Yeah.
I'm like, this shit like that. It's like, damn, you're actually seeing a drama unfold in a way.
That's some of the magic behind Metroid, though. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the story of Star Fox.
But you
where
kind of make for Metroid. I feel like you make the story.
you kind of make the story for yourself. No, exactly, and that's kind of like one of the more beautiful parts about Metroid, is that you kind of like you said, you kind of put yourself in the role of Samus, and you're out there, you're by yourself, you're adventuring like this planet that's seemingly. Oh, they're clapping for me, by the way,
Oh,
friends.
of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course you are.
You're by yourself on this isolated planet.
Yeah.
And it's just this feeling of being alone and discovering all these things. Whereas Star Fox, you're watching a story that's been written for you. Like another thing that's really awesome about Metroid is that you have the ability to kind of make your own assumptions and theories about those games, like the Cho Zone, where they came from, and there's no dialogue to speak of, so you're watching this picture show kind of unfold in front of you as you play through the game. You're just kind of creating this, what happened to them, they ceased to be, but how did that go about, so, that sort of thing. Whereas Star Fox is kind of spelled out for you,
In a way, yeah. Well, what's funny too is like it is spelled out in a way. But what's funny about Star Fox 4 is like depending on your path, it actually does change like the story a little bit. I mean, Star Wars get fucked up. Yeah. Some of them, like if you go like super hardcore event, like it comes new Star Fox or Star Wolf. Yeah. There's other parts where like you can interact with Bill, he'll come with you, help you over here, and you have your own little interaction. Yeah. At the very end, like if you went to the route with Cat will talk about this shit, like she'll say something, or she'll show up.
Absolutely.
So like stuff like that was cool.
Or even at the beginning of the game where you save Falco.
Yeah, and you follow him. Hey, let's go this way
through the waterfall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a choose your own adventure light sort of feel.
Anyways, to interject, it wasn't Star Wolf I was talking about. It was actually Bill Bray in the Husky Squadron from N64. And they were in that one mission where they helped you out.
Yeah, the first one. I forgot what it was.
No, they were in the
second one. Third.
The one where like the giant spaceship is blowing up the planet.
The hatches are open. That's
But I like their arc. Because it was more streamlined.
But you know what's cool about it? It felt like kind of like Star Wars in debate, where he's kind of like that's like Biggs. And it's like, there's Luke as Star Fox. He's like, oh, hey, Bill. It's like they haven't mentioned, but obviously they trained together before at that point. Yeah. That was cool. I like that.
Yeah, and like those guys are serious, man. I don't know. I really liked them. They weren't like...
it's like it was actual military.
They were competent, and not like Star Fox and all that. So, but let's switch the gears. We already talked a lot about Daniel's favorite game. What's Louis' favorite N64 game?
There's a lot to choose from, obviously. But if I had to choose one, Mario 64 initially comes to mind. But my favorite game.
I should have said that too, but I can't say it's the best. But go on.
It definitely paved the way for a lot of 3D platformers that did come later. But if I were to choose,
best one.
Well, there was no platformer quite like that one, especially when it came to Mario in 3D games. There was no 3D Mario game that was quite like Mario 64.
You know what's fucking funny though? That shit was a fucking statement when that shit was made.
Yeah, it absolutely was.
N64 and like, hey, new Mario, it's not side scrolling. Look what's happening. It's fucking straight up.
Yeah.
You have to also take into consideration that at that time, I think that was the first time that console gaming was as powerful as the top PCs at the time to run a game like that.
Yeah.
Because as far as computers on the market weren't able to play a game like Mario 64. Yeah. They just weren't that fast.
Yeah.
Unless you spend like $10,000 on something. Yeah.
But going back to my favorite game, I like to say Banjo-Kazooie. That was my favorite Nintendo 64 game. Banjo-Kazooie had a lot of what Mario 64 did. It had the platforming, it had the music, it had the vibrant colors.
What I liked about that, the stages were really cool. Each world was fucking huge.
Yeah, it was. Each world was huge, and it was varied. But it had, to me, I remember having to make a choice. Back at the time, I only had so much money, and I think I got some money for my birthday or whatever, and I only had enough money for one game, and it was the choice between Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie. And I remember just thinking, as much as that back then, decisions like that were.
You know what's funny though?
Really difficult.
In hindsight, though, that's like a really hard decision to make, because if you didn't play any of those, I would just surely go and play. Well, granted, I'd probably biased. I never played Mario, but in that case, you would go by the sheer fact that Banjo-Kazooie had more content. It
had more content, and it had different mechanics, and that's what I enjoyed. The idea of I don't know, the idea of like a bird and a bear teaming up and like having you like get the you know, like a bird giving you a double jump and then like you know
The hover at it, right?
yeah you can kind of like get a quick double jump and then like when you get like the special was the golden, I believe it was the golden feathers.
That are the puzzles. It's like two different things.
Yeah, well,
Puzzles and feathers, but I don't know.
yeah, I believe it was the golden feathers that allowed you like some flight.
Oh, I see. Because I remember it was like a collection for the puzzle or something.
Yeah, but like the fact that you could change into Kazooie, which completely changed the game. Like Kazooie, she was a lot faster. She can get to places that Banjo could not. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. The game was also a little darker, as far as the villain that they fought, Gruntilda. She captures Banjo's sister and threatens to pretty much steal her beauty and transform it into her own.
That's scary shit, man.
And one of the game over screens, if you don't beat the game with 100%, or if you get a game over, or maybe it's if you just get a game over, Gruntilda puts Banjo's sister Tui, or sorry, not Tui, puts Banjo's sister into this machine and essentially turns her into like this big, like disgusting beast-looking thing. And Gruntilda steals her beauty, and she looks like this super, super hot witch, person.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just, overall, Banjo-Kazooie was really awesome to me. The worlds were pretty much just as varied as Mario 64's. They had their water levels, they had their kind of like spooky, like haunted house levels, like Mario 64 had, and then they had their open world or their open field,
the real overworld.
Yeah,
before he chooses it, that's the one.
Exactly, and that was kind of equivalent to Peach's Castle, but on a slightly larger scale, because you actually had to travel to different aspects of this huge overworld to get to these different stages.
I mean, a good example would probably be like if it was like it's almost like a little bit of shrunken down Hyrule like feel.
Yeah,
like that.
No, exactly. Yeah, it was like that's a good comparison. It's shrunken down like a Hyrule field where you're just traveling from place to place.
You know what's funny about that? None of us mentioned Zelda as the best team.
See, yeah,
exactly.
Well, you know what? We're talking about our favorite games. We're not really talking about
those.
I think
games like Mario 64 and Zelda and Metroid.
Automatically good.
Yeah, they're set in stone. Those are staples that can never be replaced by anything.
True.
Except for Diddy Kong Racing,
but I feel like in these games that we all mentioned, like within themselves, are heavy hitters. They're not maybe as
it's too
popular as
it's too easy to say they're your favorite games.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody knows it's everybody's favorite game.
Yeah, I mean things like things like that. Yeah, there's something special about them. You took away story from Star Fox 64, Daniel.
That's great.
And Omero took away the within the contents of a racing game, the ability to have a story mode and to have a battle mode and to have an adventure mode. Adventure mode.
Story mode.
Unlockables.
What's fucking hilarious about that game is the fact that you never even left the cart. Like, whatever you were driving, you can swap out between all three, but you never, there was no, I'm going to go to the overworld, we go walk to a track.
Walk around.
No, I'm going to drive to my track.
Yeah.
It's like, that was cool, because you're constantly always playing the game to get to places.
And not only that, but the training mode, it was in the overworld. You could practice your drifting and your flying. And
they're racing that Indian elephant.
Every
once in a while.
I remember that,
That was good. And then not to mention, you had to find those balloons that way too, like the Easter egg. Oh my god, the golden one. I think it was golden ones. It was great.
Okay, well, you guys want to see about discussing our PS1 games?
Yeah.
Since we're doing comparisons.
Well, seeing how I don't know where 1 hour went, but we're down 25 minutes on battery power, but we can get through it. Oh, we can do it too, unless we just want to wrap it up. I mean, just say.
Well, let's just do the PS1 games.
Yeah,
unfortunately, we're not going to get to the pre-internet gaming. We'll save that for next weekend.
But go on with your tell me what's like your favorite PS1. That's a big library.
It's a huge library, and there's a lot to choose from. Unlike the Nintendo 64, I am gonna go for an obvious one for the PS1, since I kind of did choose overall the PS1 being my favorite system of the two, even though the Nintendo 64 had a ton of memorable games.
Oh boy.
And this is gonna, where a lot of fans are gonna be split. But Final Fantasy VII, I'm just gonna go out and say it. It's my favorite game on the PS1.
It's so fucking hard to dispute.
Hey,
It is.
The nearby anime convention called. They're looking for Lewis Stokes.
Hey,
Dude, that shit.
I'm a closet weeb, and I'm not afraid to admit it. But Final Fantasy VII, for a lot of reasons. I'm not gonna sit here and just spout that it's has like.
What was the main reason why it was good?
The best story.
To you, at least.
For me, Final Fantasy VII was my favorite game because of the characters. To be completely honest, I loved how varied the characters were. And
I agree. For text, it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, they all felt like cartoon characters. To be honest. You had a guy with a gun for an arm.
Barrett was the asshole. Tifa was like the girl next door. Aerith was like the other girl next door that shouldn't have lived. And then you have Kate Sith was just like the clown, the clown spy.
But he was the comic relief. You know, like he.
Then you had the edgy Vincent. Then you had Sid, the hard ass, which he's probably my favorite character.
Absolutely.
Then you got what's her face, the ninja bitch that no one cares about.
I
forget Yuffie.
Yuffie.
Yeah. Is that all of them? I think it's not all of them. There's one more I'm missing. I think.
Sid.
No, I said Sid.
Oh, you just said Sid.
I think that's it.
Red 13.
Oh yeah, Nanaki, I guess. Every time I play the game, I try to make the name. It's hard. I keep forgetting that's it.
Red 13.
But you're right. That's every character added to the plot, which is really weird. It's not that more than Cloud.
I mean, and that's not to say that Final Fantasy games did not have interesting characters in the past. There's Kain from Final Fantasy IV, Terra from Final Fantasy VI, Locke from Final Fantasy VI. Those characters are amazing. But maybe this is bias, obviously. But Final Fantasy VII was my first. It wasn't the first RPG that I've ever beaten. Actually, Wild Arms was my first RPG that I ever beat all the way through.
I'm gonna talk to you about that after this.
Oh yeah, Wild Arms. Yeah,
not on this. I mean, after this thing.
But it was something about like everything mashed together. Like it. Yeah, you can exploit the game. You can do a lot of cheats. Like there's like the item duplication cheat. Things like that.
There's also like you can get Tifa, Aerith, or you can get Barrett as your boyfriend. Supposedly. I don't know how to get Barrett.
I did not hear about that. No,
because it's supposed to happen.
Talk about progressive.
It's supposed to be in the gondola. Yeah. Apparently, you take Barrett as well.
Oh, for the golden saucer. Yeah, you can take him on the. You can choose to take him on the not the roller coaster.
It's like the
gondola. Final Fantasy VII music. The fact that it was 3 discs and the game was just.
That's just a technical limitation, though. If we had DVDs, that would have been a whole thing. But But then again, at that time, PC did the exact same thing. Actually, they were the first to do that.
Yeah, some of them went up to 7 discs.
They had a 3 install disc and a play disc.
But yeah, cool, I have to say Final Fantasy VII.
No, but I can't. I wish I could say something negative about that, but no, that game's pretty much. Legitimately, the best.
For all the negative flack that it's gotten through the years, I stand by it. And
it's just oversaturation. Why everyone don't like it. It's not like Kingdom Hearts has turned into, right? Because it's just all fan service at this point.
It is, and I think it also kind of. I think it was the game that brought a lot of the Final Fantasies into the spotlight.
Oh yeah.
And that's another thing about it. I think that.
Well, how do you express? It's the best way to express. There was the best way to express an RPG game with actual cinematics. In that game,
yeah,
they didn't even do that. Well, they had it in the other ones, but it was all Super Nintendo.
They were limited. I mean, it was awesome.
but you had something to watch. Like you could see what's going on. You see Sephiroth coming in, just backstabbing. Like, ooh.
Absolutely, and there is something to be said about using your imagination to, for the what the Super Nintendo could do versus actually seeing like these full on cinematic like movies happening within your game.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, all those things together kind of made it special. I mean, and it was around the time, I was in middle school. I had a lot of friends that were into the game, and it just brought back a lot of cool memories about us kind of sharing, just our favorite moments in the game.
Yeah.
And obviously the heavy hitting moments, spoiler alert, Aerith kind of kicking the bucket. But yeah,
that's. We can talk about it later.
Not to downplay her death or anything.
No, because that's its own topic, to be honest. Because that's literally a milestone of video gaming.
Yeah, I have to say that.
It was the death of Gwen Stacy, for video games. Because back then, it was nothing like that had quite happened.
You say that, and all I can think about is the second new Spider-Man, where Gwen Stacy gets knocked on her head at the bottom, and that shit made me laugh. I'm sorry.
Oh god, please don't.
No, because I have no context of what you're talking. You're obviously based on the comics.
Yeah. I'm talking about the bridge. Not the clock tower.
Yeah, because that shit was hilarious. Like, she didn't hurt her, so whatever. That's what it's Emma Stone. Who cares about her?
All right, Omero, what's your favorite PlayStation 1 game?
Well, I just want to add that Final Fantasy VII, along with Tomb Raider, I think those two games really brought PlayStation up to, I remember seeing they had a
Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
Tomb Raider was pretty big for PlayStation.
Yeah, I just had a PC one. That's why.
Yeah, well, but Final Fantasy VII, I think that was like one of the first first early memories of them doing a mass marketing scheme for PlayStation. That was.
I mean, I think everyone can remember that that commercial where you see Sephiroth ripping off Genova's kind of cover.
Yeah.
That was pretty big for its time, for sure.
Well, for my favorite game, this was easy. Symphony of the Night.
Yeah?
Yeah, Symphony of the Night. I told myself that this is what happens when you take a limited 2D game and use, like I said before, use all resources with a 32-bit system. And you get beautiful colors, you get beautiful artwork, and you get this fucking not 100% game, but a 200% game.
Yeah. You
don't even know it until after you beat it, dude.
I'm not even further than that.
And then you have all these weapons and items. You can play the games a million different ways.
Yeah.
I like for once, one time I beat the whole game using the duplicator ring.
Oh, that shit's stupid.
Dude, that thing was awesome. or just okay. Well, let me try to win it with the Medusa shield. Right?
Oh yeah, even more broken.
That thing
that trivialized the game, unfortunately. But you could do that. So I mean,
absolutely. Or the shield rod. The shield rod. Yeah. So that game had a lot of stuff going. The music.
The music was still the best part.
You can still sit down and listen to the music now.
Very haunting. Very just.
And what's crazy is, sorry, interrupt, but it's crazy that the music, they only used like a few songs that were in the older ones. Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of it was a lot of originals. So I'm like, that's pretty good considering.
They updated them obviously.
What I like about the game though is that nowadays people are talking about throwbacks and this and that. Dude, that thing had throwbacks, and you fought zombie Simon Belmont, or was it Trevor?
Yeah.
Zombie Trevor Belmont. You fought Grant, and you fought the other gal.
Sophia or something.
Sophia, yeah. And I'm just like, damn, dude. Not only that, but because
that was his whole crew.
Yeah, the whole crew. But yeah, because he was part of that game, right? Was it Castlevania 2?
It was 3.
3, yeah. So that's what happened, and then it just shows you that was 100 years has passed by since that happened.
Yeah,
and they're all zombies. It's man.
Yeah, and the little details about that is fucking hilarious because I remember where it throws back to the game. Because I remember when Simon sees Maria for the first time near the cathedral, she goes, "Have you seen Simon Belmont?" And he goes, "Belmont." And the thought bubble shows the original Simon Belmont, like the 8-bit one.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yes.
Oh, I was like, oh, but it's like,
I know who a Belmont is, but he didn't know it's Richter Belmont.
Yeah.
The only thing that's funny though is that they didn't really bridge the gap. I wish they kind of did. I wish they went back to Kid Dracula and kind of bridged the gap for all that.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
Throw Kid Dracula in there, yeah, absolutely.
You know, the other thing about that game though is like the villains or like the all the
Dracula was the shit.
The Dracula, dude. Like when you went to the second castle, you remember like you know the courtyard, and you had those half like decaying like horses with the skeletons.
Oh yeah,
and they're running back and forth.
Yeah,
dude, I remember
Nightmares they were called.
Yeah, dude. I remember it was like
you had to figure out how to get. Like, how do we kill these guys easy?
I was old. You know, I was old enough not to get scared about that stuff. I remember back then. There's
the look.
Oh man, dude, you never seen not since Doom have I seen really horrific stuff like this.
The scary one though. The scary was the Grand Falloon, the big.
Oh yeah,
because that thing's just making screechy noise and dropping humans. I'm like,
it's a collection of humans and stuff like that. And, I think it's just a whole.
Wait, was that Legion?
Yeah, but that's called the Grand Falloon.
Yeah.
But that's what's funny because that's one thing really cool about Castlevania. They really take a lot of like folklore from all over the world, and put it in that game.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of fun. They kind of kept going and at least added more futuristic stuff. Like I remember Castlevania 64 had literally the Frankenstein monster with the chainsaw.
Well, yeah, but they called it the monster.
Yeah.
It wasn't called Frankenstein.
But it was cool how they kind of progressively got into the more present or more futuristic, but still kind of held it back with like still really using foot logs and shit.
Yeah, and you know what's great about that game though is like because. One of the things that they should have added, but that's a different subject. But I like, it's just little nuances, right? Like remember where you have all the Medusa heads, and if they hit you turn to stone, right? Like in the other one, right? But in this game, if they hit you so many times, your character Alucard gets mad, and then he gets turned, he turns into like his beast mode.
Oh, the demon form?
Demon form, but he's in stone, and it's just like, oh, dude, for me, it's like, so I kind of wish they explored that, because that shows that he was capable of turning into demon mode.
Yes.
But you never...
tapping into his...
and that form looks so cool in stone, and like, dude. And I just said, it's sad too, because you can sit there and look at it, but you just suffocate, you're like, fuck, shake out.
You have to get out of it. So, man.
No, but
there's different modes. You can play armored mode, right? You can play the remember the knight?
Oh, the Axe Knight, yeah.
Yeah, the Axe Knight. That was really strong. Like tank. You also could play as Richter Belmont.
That was hard too, because the only way to get health back is from those full health elixirs at the end of boss fights.
Dude. But that game was
good though.
It had it all. And you know what? I almost thought
not to mention that game had the move sets.
Yeah, like Dragon Punch, Fireball.
Games don't do that yet. Like they didn't have they have like special abilities, but they don't like it's on a hotkey. No, you had the more fun. Like let me do a fireball motion, teleport, hellfire, fireball, or do bloody man warp, just get the health back. Soul Steel, get all the health back. It's just those little things are like.
I remember
summon the ghosts.
Castlevania Circle of the Moon implementing that as well for the Game Boy Advance. You actually had to do. Half circle moves, shoryukens.
Until DS came out, then you just draw it on the thing.
There's that.
Which is still good though.
Well, that's another game that was really awesome where they brought in Alucard later was Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, where you can play as Alucard it was 2030, I believe.
Was that the one where he had that red outline?
Yeah,
because I thought that was some other character. I don't know if I was.
Well, no, you play along. Play alongside Julius Belmont and was it Sylvia Belnades or what was it? Oh no, sorry, Yoko Belnades.
Oh yeah, and there's like that one emo looking guy. That's Alucard, the future Alucard with the black hair.
But that's his kind of incognito form when he looks like Alucard from Symphony of the Night. When you're actually playing through the game, non story mode, when you're just kind of like going through the game. That was really fun too because he had a lot of his movesets and a couple of new ones from that he had from Symphony of the Night. But awesome game.
It's a good game. And one note I want to leave on it is that I could tell that the developers were like, okay, we've got a PS2 game or we got a PlayStation 1 machine where everybody's trying to crank out 3D games. It's like, let's do Castlevania. It's going to be a 2D game, but we can't just make it any ordinary 2D game. We have to we got to make it like the best thing. And I think they were going for the best 2D platform.
It set the bar, for sure.
Yeah, they really pushed it. They knew that, 2D was not enough. Let's have a great soundtrack. It has some great colors, great gameplay and all that. Great story.
Now tell me this though. Do you think that it upped the ante for Super Metroid, a game like Super Metroid?
I
Or do you
don't think
they're
there was ever
parallels?
another Super Metroid game like that.
There were.
Yeah.
There was never a Metroid game.
Fusion,
And
and Zero Mission.
And you know what? To tell you the truth, I think Nintendo should and can do the same thing. You know, why can't they just release a 2D Metroid game for their latest system, and squeeze all the juice out of that console to make a fucking spectacular game?
Why indeed? Maybe they got someone for Konami working for them.
I mean, all right, that's kind of weird. No, it'd be cool to have that for Super Metroid, but I don't think you can really. I don't think. Well, you kind of could, I guess, but I could be okay with that just it being a regular Metroid game again, without having to need to go the extra mile to get like the RPG aspects. Just keep it the same game still, but up the ante on everything else. That'd be great. That'd be cool. I mean, Zero Mission was kind of like that. They kind of did a good job, and actually the way they explained the story in that was cool because it's just her monologuing. And then you see what happens to her, and like the whole time she loses her suit when Fusion. That was a really good 2D horror game in my opinion.
Absolutely,
shit was scary as hell.
Yeah,
you're never strong. No. And then when it comes to Castlevania, it's like, yeah, man, that's just a one shot, and they could do it again, but I don't.
It's not, I mean, they've done it again before, but it's not the same as the first.
It's not quite the same. I mean, they tried to replicate it with Dawn of Sorrow and Aria of Sorrow.
Yeah.
Or rather, Aria of Sorrow and then Dawn of Sorrow. But yeah. All right, so.
Let me interject. We're running out of juice here because somebody forgot to bring the power cord to the laptop. I won't say who, Daniel. What's your favorite game?
Yeah.
What's your PS1 game?
I was like thinking about it. I mean, I wouldn't say Castlevania, but just to be different, I want to say like Metal Gear Solid.
There you go.
Oh, hey, they're
awesome.
Yeah.
Not because
if it wasn't Final Fantasy VII,
and it's not. But the thing is, I'm not basing it because it's a gameplay or whatever. Because the gameplay to it is really shoddy and kind of constricting. But what you got on the other side, which is straight up
story mode,
fucking crazy ass, tangly a political thriller.
Well, I always refer to it as a espionage stealth game that is kind of masked in a political thriller.
Well, that's the thing, 'cause I mean,
it's Jack Ryan and Rambo mixed together.
But the thing is, I saw Sinker in there. You're doing the mission, right? But the thing is, though, you're racing against time from the president, who's also the bad guy. He's the political part. He's gonna fucking nuke Outer Heaven.
Yeah.
So you want to get the hell out of there and savor it with. But that's the thing. So you're rushing against time, against politics, and they're talking about what happened in the whole past, why this is even existing.
Yeah.
Granted, they had to go through all these games to tell you what really happened, but it was just cool because it was really exciting. And it was funny too because it's just dialogue the whole time. They're talking, but that's what made it fun.
But it was so interesting. Yeah, the story was amazing. And.
Oh, man, good lord. Laptop died. Typical in the middle of Metal Gear Solid explanation stuff. And
I think that's why it died.
Yeah, probably. I mean, Lewis was saying something. I literally forgot what it was. But I'm going to continue on to say why.
That's how important it was.
Yeah, because you never are.
Oh, what, dude? And now we're throwing punches. Okay.
Well, fuck Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah. But anyways, that's the going back to Metal Gear Solid. This might be a part 2, obviously now. So
it may or may not be a part 2.
Yeah.
I guess you'll find out.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna find out anyways.
Yeah. But really, what else can I say about?
Well, it was when we left off with it was
something about how it sucked.
Oh, that it technically was like a really good political thriller.
It was a great political thriller.
This guy
with masked kind of in a no, it was an espionage stealth game masked in a veil of kind of political thriller, almost borderline sci-fi.
No, it was very sci-fi. I mean, that's the only way you can get. I mean, if it was a pure political thriller with no technology, that's gonna suck.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason why it was kind of cool what you see is because it's so grandiose. Like, well, you got a Metal Gear. Oh man, this thing looks like a giant T-Rex that. In reality, it's not going to be any good because it has legs. Oh yeah. But it's just the fact that
it just looked awesome.
Yeah, and it actually made a T-Rex sound for some reason.
Yeah, it felt like very like anime.
Yeah.
Even within the context of the story, the character that designed that that the character that designed Metal Gear was a fan of anime, and he even goes for like further to explain that that's the reason why he wanted to build this really awesome giant mech.
Like a weeb mecha?
Yeah, exactly. Because he himself was a weeb. And
are we talking about Kojima?
Oh no, we're talking about Otacon.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I mean, I lost it because I was still back about how I didn't like the game, but no, just kidding. No, it's a great game.
Yeah, but no, like Otacon himself was kind of like a weeb, and he wanted to build this robot that just so happened to be used for purposes of nuclear warfare. But yeah, he designed it. But that's what I loved about the game. Like it was very just kind of its own little thing. You had games like what was it, Splinter Cell and Siphon Filter, which
it's all like Tom Clancy games.
Siphon Filter, I rented that game and all I did was I only went to like the second stage, but I was having enough fun just killing people with a fucking taser.
Which one? Oh, Siphon Filter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Siphon Filter.
Long range tasering and just burning people alive.
You see them kind of like, like burst into flames.
It's an inhumane weapon, and then
it's
burning people alive.
Once I found out that thing had had unlimited ammo, I just why do I need to use it?
Long ass string on top of a building and kill somebody.
Until you find out that a bunch of enemies can jump you from the sides, that thing is like it's definitely not an AoE weapon. but going back to Metal Gear.
I want to say something about the game. I really do like the characters that they developed for Metal Gear Solid. I'm really not really familiar with the game or the story mode, but the only reason I know people like Solidus or Sniper Wolf or Vulcan Raven or Revolver, or not Solid, Solid Snake. I'm sorry, you're right. Or Revolver Ocelot or Psycho Mantis is because I collected or Ninja. I collected the McFarlane figures that came out from that era, and I don't know. I just like the character designs. I like their names and how cool they looked.
That's cool. I mean, their look is great, the aesthetics, but the characters themselves, when it comes to like the villains, like Vulcan Raven,
Psycho Mantis.
Well, he was actually kind of cool. Sniper Wolf. I mean, they all had their
gimmicks.
good looks, the gimmicks somewhat, but honestly, their characters are just kind of meh. That's the one thing I got to talk about when it comes to Metal Gear Solid. I mean, it's not really a full markdown on the game, but I never liked the fact that every time you kill a boss, they always go in a fucking giant ass soliloquy like, "This is why I did this." I'm like, I don't give a fuck, man. It did, but then you know what? Tell me this shit while I'm fighting you or before I fight you. Don't tell me on your death throws because I wish I didn't do it now, but I did it because I was bored. This guy gave me a life. I'm like, dude.
It's always about the money.
They wish they didn't.
It's always about the money.
They never said that they wish they didn't. They always
express their anger.
They tried to justify their existence, and it was their way of kind of before they passed on. It was their way of kind of making peace with themselves, and that's what I kind of loved about those things. Was like the.
What? I wish Solid Snake had a button palm to just instant kill. Cut that shit out. I'm like, fucking bad.
The thing is, it's like, dude, these guys are stone cold killers. Yeah. They're not the thespians.
And it's funny too, because the whole time Snake.
but I think, but that added to those characters though. That kind of built on.
Well, they had to because they were flat characters.
But that's what made them not flat characters.
But do you remember them still though?
I absolutely do.
I mean,
I remember them.
All the what?
The from Metal Gear 4, I believe.
We don't talk about those games. We talk about the first one.
But I mean, granted, that's when I really noticed it was like that was when it was bad. Like, really, this is bad. Like, this guy's literally talking for 10 minutes. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, okay.
I already killed you.
I was freaking Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah, they started in that one, but it wasn't as.
I just feel like in the later installments it just got way too pretentious. But
that's
just me though.
No, you're right. It's not. There's no. You can't say.
Lewis, you have something to say about that? Because I'm right here.
It really is just like this. Really is kind of like beauty is in the eye of the beholder sort of deal. Like I always did enjoy the the random weird like off the wall dialogue. A lot of people will definitely disagree with me for this one. Metal Gear Solid 2, where you start off as Solid Snake and then you play through
the prologue one,
the prologue for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then all of a sudden the kind of rug is pulled from underneath your feet. And lo and behold, you're playing as everyone's favorite Raiden. That aside, I enjoyed that game too. It's the dialogue for that was just goofy. It was weird, and it was so different from so many different games in that genre. And I think that's what makes it so special.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, a lot of that dialogue really doesn't belong, and it shouldn't. I think that's kind of adds to its charm, though. It kind of adds to the insanity of what Hideo Kojima was trying to produce.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of that was definitely intentional. I know that Raiden was kind of made to, kind of made for the fans of anime because he was a very
Cosplay fans.
He was a very stereotypical anime protagonist sort of a guy.
Blonde hair.
Blonde hair. He's
Bishonen.
yeah, just
naive in a way.
very naive. It was kind of like a coming of age story.
Still, considering what he went through, it's probably that's probably one of the saddest things in the world. Because
his backstory, absolutely. I
But-
mean, and they don't really go into it until later, but yeah.
but it's scary that the fact that what he went through number 2 is that was all just a game.
Yeah.
That's what's scary. Dude, you just fucking.
But that's this
You
is
see why he's all uptight later.
what makes those games so amazing. He saved the world only to find out
all simulation.
that it was all a simulation to prove someone else's power over everyone.
Yeah.
And not to mention the fact that these were all kind of predetermined things that were that were going to happen later.
Yeah,
I guess.
But I think it was also to just see if they could actually make another soldier that was like Solid Snake, but without the cloning process or something like that. They want to see if you can overcome because it was pretty much it's not 1-to-1, but almost the same similarities of what happened in Shadow Moses.
Yeah.
So, but to see a human go through that, you're like, see if he can pull it off.
Absolutely.
That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
No, I love that. I love that.
No, it's cool. Yeah. And I gotta admit though that you do it around tangent number 2. It was such a cool thing because it actually explained more about the government, how more corrupt it is, and how further back it goes. And I was like,
Yeah.
dude, this is nuts.
Yeah.
There's a whole hacky thing at the end with the colonel. Like, dude, what
The
the
conspiracy theories.
Oh, you mean Colonel
behind
Troutman?
everything.
Hell? Yeah.
Oh, oops. What was his name again?
No, just Colonel. I forget what his real name was. I just call him
It
Colonel.
was
Roy-
flat out
Roy
Colonel
Campbell.
Troutman.
Oh
Dude.
yeah, of
His
course.
name
Yeah.
was Roy Campbell.
There we go, Roy Campbell.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid.
Raven
1
Leader.
for-
Raven Leader. We need
Metal Gear Solid 1 for PlayStation 1. Not a pretty game to look at.
You know what?
Even for its time.
It wasn't pretty, but it had the same graphical charm that Armored Core had for me.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot about.
And now I regret saying Metal Gear Solid. No,
Yeah,
but
recording there. That was a fun.
no,
game.
but that's what's funny because there's games that are really good that I remember playing in my childhood, but it's just to recall them. It's like no. I mean, now just thinking about Armored Core, I was like, dude, that actually had more fun in that day.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
you know
yeah.
what? Armored Core was a really good game.
Gameplay wise, yeah.
Multiplayer was fun as hell
Yeah.
because you had to build, literally had to build your own mechs, and you pit them against someone else. And it was kind of funny too because the game was kind of in a way exploitable because every time you bought something, it always sold for the same price, so you could always interchange parts at a whim. As long as you had money,
Yeah.
ultimately a lot of money, but yeah.
Yeah. The different ways that you can customize your mechs.
And it was funny too because it felt like I was trying to be complex like a simulator with the way the buttons were laid out, but it was actually really fun. The concept was cool. The fact that you're just mercenaries for a group, you're a raven, but for the whole mercenary group. And it's just funny that you both get the same assignments,
Yeah.
or the same location, but the assignment's like, oh, defend this party, and you're the one destroy the party or kill the party.
Yeah.
And you have both ravens. Like, let's assume there's no backstory of what these people are. But it's just kind of cool to see, it's almost like RoboJocks where, they had that bar scene. Have you seen RoboJocks, right?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, remember that? They had that bar scene, right?
That's a good answer.
And it's all, they say everyone from all the nations are there, and they're all pilots for each nation, and they're ones, trying to take, property over, right? But in this case, it's like the same thing where against the Ravens, it's like, hey, I have to go fight, and if I do, I have to kill you. And that's when I was like, that's a cool. I like this story because you're all still partners and you're all like under the same creed, but we got to kill each other.
Yeah.
It's almost like John Wick. It's the same thing. Well, John Wick's a better reference now than fucking
RoboJocks.
But RoboJocks is superior still.
Yeah.
Well, no, John Wick's pretty good. But anyways, that's what made that's why I really like that game. And it's just the whole aspect of customizing. You build legs, torsos, get new parts, find secret parts.
And that was my whole thing about Armored Core. I didn't really know if there was that much of an elaborate story behind it. Yeah, but I loved the customization. It's definitely something I would love to see more in a lot of games today. You don't really see like a lot of like games with where you can like customize your mechs. At least in the mainstream, like
like current, right?
Yeah, nothing current.
The only thing I can really think of is probably whatever other Armored Core that came out and
for the PS3,
2 and 3. Yeah, the one that Sega made, I never got to play. I wish
I would say only for console gaming, right? And computer gaming, there's several mecha games.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Even still, but like
but to try to reference something else on a console, like the closest one I can think of is probably like Front Mission, and that was visual too. Like, oh, this mech has this now. That's kind of cool.
And even then, from Mission through, like as time progressed, like kind of downgraded.
The quality got better. The gameplay got downgraded. The gameplay was like really hardcore back then.
Yeah.
But it's also funny too. I want to bring up Armored Core. Is that was like one of the first games from software, and you know what they made nowadays, where everyone's all uppity about, or all like stroking their dicks about, is fucking Dark Souls.
Yeah.
And it's funny too, because like Armored Core was that was like the original hard game.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was unforgiving. And it's funny too, because I didn't understand what the story was at the time. Like, we were just cutscenes. But I remember there were checkpoints, and I remember there's one stage where you had to fight this giant mech, and I wasn't even prepared for it. I just straight up, I just got to shoot from far away, test my luck. But that wasn't a checkpoint. I thought the game just got stupid hard. You got to fight the best Raven of the whole team, 9-ball or 8-ball, and it's at the end of the stage where you had to go destroy, or the last stage, you had to destroy the supercomputer of Raven. You had to fly through the whole platform. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And it's funny too, because the game didn't feel like it was designed for that. And there's also that unforgiving stage where you had to fight another Armored Core in a fucking, what do you call it, in a furnace, and you can't touch the ground once you die, unless you have a hoverboard or a hover leg.
Your ability to kind of fly in the air.
Yeah, like fuck.
Yeah.
But it was cool because you had to think about that all the time.
Yeah.
The ones like Armored Core 2 and actually 3 came out, was kind of, they got kind of little too.
Yeah. I never played past the first one.
No, good. Number 1's good. Number 2 was the one where you had to actually kill yourself, not kill yourself, but run out of money and keep going through continues to actually augment, like you sell your body to science, and then you get augmented stuff, so your AC runs a lot better.
Oh wow!
So you can actually run around and jump around with like shoulder weapons that actually mount, like having to have a stance for it. You can fly and shoot one. There's ones where you can
shoulder rockets.
Yeah, and you can actually shoot your projectiles out, or your melee and tertiary projectile, and if the more you die, then you'll actually shoot like 3 of them out.
Yeah.
So you just get stronger progressively if you just kill yourself and lose missions, and then you start your game.
Intentional game design.
Sure.
Looking back, it might have been, because it's kind of, I don't know, it's really hard to say, but it's one of those things where it's kind of mandatory because the game's that hard.
Yeah.
And then you have to have that save and move it from Armored Core 2 to the expansion, the new one, the Mars one.
Yeah.
And you take that save over, and if you just start the Mars one from scratch, you're not going to win anything.
Yeah.
Because you need to have, because the first thing, before the first 3 ACs you fight, is already flying around with a rocket thing. I'm like, hard game. They're fun though, but I was always into mechs back then, the mech war, and that was like a good side game for not playing on PC.
Yeah.
So to taper off this talk about N64 and PS1, I guess the way we talked about the games that we liked, it seems like PS1, they got away with more creative titles. I mean, like you got Final Fantasy,
a lot of varied things, yes.
Castlevania, Metal Gear, whereas Nintendo, it seems like the games that we really liked were in-house titles.
Yeah, I mean,
first party was one of the
first
best
party
things.
ones.
Yeah,
they're
kind of the way it's always been.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
their second party.
It's hard to mention. Nintendo anything without saying some sort of Mario, Metroid, or Star Fox.
Well,
sort of a game.
The only caveat to that is probably like one of their in-house. Well, they're still first party. They're only publishing it, but I guess Mario parties. All those, I don't think those were not in-house.
Yeah, but they're using the Nintendo character.
Oh, using Nintendo character, for sure. But
would people really care about those games if you didn't get to play as Mario?
No, but but then also the gameplay of it was actually pretty good considering. And
it was.
But there's actual other.
But people wouldn't care if it wasn't for those characters.
Probably not, but let's assume it was marketed in a way where like, hey, check out this cool ass party game. Like back then, we were all, I'll try it out.
It's
because
I believe it still wouldn't sell as much as if
it wouldn't sell as much, of course, but it's not. IPs weren't mean, they're strong back then, but I don't think they're as strong as they are now. Because back now it's like even if IP sucks now, and it's a sequel to it, you're gonna go. People are like, oh my god, it's IP. It's good.
Well, not only that, but then you get a lot of like clickbait websites that are just gonna push it. Oh, you're gonna love this IP, or this IP is a throwback to this.
Or
and
look at this
that,
controversial shit that's doing in the game
and,
that
you know,
we're not gonna show you a screenshot of because you have to go buy it.
It's all vaporware or hotware. You know, people just blow up something that really is nothing else.
It's like shaking on my ass without shit and just releasing fart.
Yeah, we're gonna edit that out. So,
But I mean, that's the thing. All the for me, I always like all the Nintendo stuff, all first party. That was some really good stuff. It was kind of weird because once they started doing third party stuff, Nintendo, I mean, granted, Mario Tennis was a good example of a good game that was third party, still in house.
How about a third party game without saying the name Mario?
for N64,
For
N64 or just in general?
for N64.
GoldenEye. Well, it was a good third party, but you also had to realize I think Rare was licensed or contracted by Nintendo to do games.
But
so,
I mean, they had zero reference to anything Nintendo.
yeah. Okay. Well, all right.
Would it be that exact or no?
No. Okay. How about this?
Everybody. He should have anything that doesn't have Mario.
You're not even letting me finish here, okay?
Go ahead.
All right.
Go on.
Everybody already understands that GoldenEye was probably the best third-party game for N64, other than GoldenEye. Name something else. Like, don't say none of this bullshit like Superman 64 because we already know that shit's game.
Oh, what are you talking about? I love that game. I 100% that.
All right.
I mean,
Cool.
I don't know why I say. First of all, I wouldn't even say that because that
Flying
game
through hoops, sign me up.
I mean, was it Titus that made that game? And it's funny too because Titus, I remember playing their PC games before that game, and it was like, I only had some decent racing ones. It was sort of like a top tier ripoff, but
Yeah. Okay, but on point though. What's the best third person game, or name a good one other than GoldenEye?
Turok.
NBA Hang Time.
Turok 1 and 2.
NBA Hang Time.
NBA
I haven't played the Hang Time, so I won't.
It's pretty much NBA Jam.
NHL Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey. That
Oh
shit
yeah,
was fun.
yeah, that was good. Yeah, Turok though.
Turok was fucking fun, dude. Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark, yeah.
Nightmare Creatures.
Nightmare Creatures.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's third person hack and slash game where you pretty much play with one of two hunters, male and female. And you just kind of go around London in the, I believe it's like the 18...
Castlevania.
I was going to just say Castlevania 64.
But it's on the... Oh, yeah, well, yeah, it's
that was
Castlevania
pretty
64, there you go.
But see, like, there's those things, but that's the thing is, like, looking back, it's like,
hack and slash.
it's really hard to recall because I remember we played a bunch, but I know a lot of them weren't strictly Mario type games. There were other ones we played. Just
But
something to recall.
I guess that was kind of my point with this PlayStation 1 versus Nintendo 64. You have a console that has some of the best IPs on the planet. But little variation. Those IPs, Zelda. Well, I mean. When compared, a little variation when compared to something like the PlayStation 1. You have your Zelda, you have your Mario 64, you Zelda Ocarina of Time, you have your Star Fox 64.
Majora's Mask too.
Yeah, Majora's Mask, GoldenEye, but
Excitebike.
Excitebike 64, sure. I mean, but
that game was in. Oh man.
That's another
rage.
talk right there. That's another talk.
But like when you compare it to a system like the PlayStation 1, kid me would kick adult me in the balls if you heard me saying this. But I do feel like PS1 did win that war overall. In terms of variation.
The only way I could say PS1 would have won or is the winner out of all this, and this might be the most outlandish thing to say.
Sure.
But you can play your games for free on PS1.
What? Oh, wait a minute. That's right. You could copy them, right?
Yeah, and that's what we did.
Yeah,
we started out. We really started burning them.
You could burn the games. I remember we
Yeah,
would rent. I mean, we didn't rent them. We didn't rent them, and we didn't copy them. We didn't do that at all. Nothing. No.
No,
It
was the PlayStation fairy.
Yeah, but that's right. You could copy the games.
Just like the guy that got me the R4.
Yeah. It's like what?
But I mean, that's the one thing why it was really good, because you had a PlayStation. I mean, it was really hard to say like what's really going out, because at this time when we had a 64, we had a PlayStation. It's easier to compare back in the day when it was like Super Nintendo and Sega. That was the only two options, but you were too young to have both. Unless you had a rich family, you had both, which even if you did have both, they all had shitty games.
That's a good point. Not everybody had a Sega, and everybody had a Nintendo.
So, but that was the biggest thing, because when we had the 64 out, I had a 64 and PS1, and the PS1 was fun because we just had a bunch of free games. Well, over time we got a library of free games.
Yeah.
And then they cost like a few bucks at CD Warehouse, or the warehouse, excuse me.
No Pirate Jam.
Yeah, and then and then
all legit right here, dude.
Yeah, and then you have the N64, which we had like a shoebox full of them, but that's about it. We didn't go any further because, well, granted, everything was like $50-$60, and we really had to make sure if we really wanted to play this game. And the only thing that really sold us was, I think, Perfect Dark, because it came with a memory pack. We had to get that. Star Fox Rumble Pack. Oh, look, you can try it out. Rumble Pack sucks. I mean, it's kind of it's a precursor of what everyone's doing now.
You didn't need a Rumble Pack, because every time I owned you a freaking like Golden Knight, I'll feel it without the Rumble Pack, dude.
Man. I mean, you can't be really that good with a golden gun, though.
Here's a quick question for you.
Shut up.
Here's a quick question for you.
Yeah.
What's your favorite fighting game on Nintendo 64?
On 64, that's a
Wait,
hard
what?
question. Because
There's
the layout's so
they're
bad.
not, dude.
The controller's so bad.
What's your favorite RPG on the Nintendo 64?
That's a hard one, actually.
Uh,
My favorite experience, still, to be honest, because out of all the ones that I played.
Mario RPG never made it on there, right?
No. Oh, actually, Paper Mario was
Paper
close.
Mario did.
Paper Mario was good.
All right,
but
so,
it wasn't.
okay, Louis, what point are you getting to here? Come on.
Well,
No, he's just telling you like how
Yeah,
limited
he's
everything
trying.
else.
He's trying to say there's no fighting games and no real RPGs.
Well, it's because it's limited to what the game was probably, what the controller had. I mean, that's probably shocked a lot of people.
Well, I think
the limitations in general with the games. I mean, I guess that's why I love it.
Well, the thing is, though,
you're right.
The games have multiple ways. You had to either use the joystick and the right part of the joystick, or the D-pad, which is like no mercy.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. Rogue Squadron.
Rogue Squadron
for N64 was good.
Good Lord.
But Lewis makes a really good point. I think all the games on the N64 were exploring type games, where you explore the world, because they were really on the whole 3D idea of there was no
going out there and
there was no 2D games or so. So I think that's what that was their perspective, and maybe they were ahead of PlayStation or Sony in that case, because now every game is open world and walk around.
Well, absolutely. I know that PlayStation tried kind of replicating some of those games. Croc comes to mind for the PlayStation 1, which was kind of trying to be its own little Mario 64 type of a game. With extreme limitations. Still a fun game to me. I mean, definitely doesn't beat out Mario 64, but I mean, yeah.
Speaking of Mario 64, that's like I still think that was a better one than what came after was Sunshine, and then Mario's
Galaxy,
and then Galaxy 2. Yeah. I think Mario 64 was still the best one. It was still really, it was like it was all skill based, the way you jumped and how you had that long jump, back flip, side flip, wall jump. Yeah, all those little things. Sunshine had that, but only in certain sections where they took the jetpack away.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't. Mario 64, and I'm not going to be one of those guys that I hated Sunshine, because Sunshine was fun. Sunshine was fun.
Music was cool. It looked good. The cinematics were surprisingly really well done.
Yeah, but Mario 64 didn't really need to rely on a whole lot of gimmicks.
It didn't.
It was a really gimmickless game.
Run, jump, and punch. With a lot of fun worlds to explore.
Yeah, there's really nothing. You can't really. It's really hard to say there is a gimmick, huh? I mean, there was Yoshi, but you never got to use
them. That was so pissed off.
Like the only gimmick was the triple jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's.
You did?
Yeah. Okay. It was a triple jump that allowed no fall damage.
Yeah.
Which.
They had the star effect too.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was it. But you had to earn that. It wasn't just like, hey, meet me up on the roof.
Well, it wasn't 120 stars got you that triple jump.
I think so, yeah. Because I remember, I think you could beat it at 70.
Which, you absolutely could. I mean, that's what it took to beat Bowser's endless staircase.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, well, see, like that's what's weird. Like N64 is really hard to say whether the stuff is good. I mean, granted, like we already established, all the first parties are really good. All the third parties under the same IP were actually pretty decent at the time.
Yeah.
It was actually surprising.
Well,
Nowadays,
you know,
it's really hard to say that. Like Metroid was
even
a good bad example. It's a good example of why third party sucks.
you know, I have to say though, even though N64, you know, wasn't had that much variety in their titles, this one up against Sony at the time was 4 players,
Yeah,
Yes.
multiplayer.
that's about it.
All right, like you know, with GoldenEye and obviously all the in-house games too, and I don't know, I you know, maybe we should go on to that subject, or we should save it for the next time.
I can go on to it right now.
What I liked about it,
Because that's like pretty important. Because that's like out of street hardware. That's what makes N64 better.
yeah, and so you know, and it was
Plug
also.
and play ability to have four friends
Mm-hmm.
right in there.
Because they had that for the Super Nintendo too. Well, through the multi.
Oh, yeah, well, now
But
you
now it's
put
like
the NES
integrated.
too. You know,
Yeah, but it's all like the fact that it was integrated now is like ridiculous. It's,
Yeah.
it's meant to be done.
but no, it's like you know, back in the day with you know pre-internet multiplayer, especially the N64, you know, that required like some serious like you know some serious skill. You have to really cooperate, playing together, and you really couldn't be like, hey, yo, motherfucker, you know,
Yeah.
you fucking this and that. You can't be calling out people while you're playing N64 games because they're right next to you.
It's a quick
And
way to
then-
lose friends.
it was a quick way to lose friends and
Yeah.
get your ass kicked. And I don't think people know that nowadays. Nowadays, they hide behind their computer monitors and act all tough. But back in the day, dude, it's like, dude, if you fucking are cheap on that game, dude, you're going to feel it afterwards.
Absolutely. I mean,
Well, yeah, if you're being cheap in a game, it's just
You
gonna.
know, your friend will kick you out of the house.
No, there'll just be that tension building in the house, and
Yeah.
then the next time your friend, hey, can I come over and play?
It's like, fuck you.
No,
man.
Wild,
don't even
sour
say it. It's
feelings.
just a passive aggressive. Like, no, I'm good.
a
It's like,
lot of sour feelings. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, but then there was always those people like there. But that was like the. I mean, you kind of had to deal with it back in the day because there was no such thing as patching, right? So you had to kind of deal with it. Some games were good in regard that, you know what, if I had an exploit, I would use the exploit back on you and it was still even ground. I mean, there wasn't a time where there's some games where some games
Mario
did
Kart was
exploit.
like that, right?
Yeah, Mario Kart was a good example of like you can cheat to on Wario stage and Rainbow Road.
Everybody could cheat, though.
Yeah,
That's if you're
but
good
the thing
at
is,
it.
I was like, but it was always like savage rules, like, hey, no one do it, please. And it's just
There's
like,
no rule for that shit.
no, I mean when I played against my coworkers, like, dude, don't do the jumps, just play the game. And what next thing you know, like one of my coworkers is trying
Doesn't
to jump the
jump.
whole run, like just trying to
Yeah.
do the jump over. I'm like, dude,
Uh-huh.
just don't do it. You just lost already.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just one of those things where like some things are exploitable that you can't get rid of.
Yeah.
But stuff like that, in my opinion, like I wish they would fix nowadays, like just exploits like that, but leave a lot of like fun exploits.
Yeah.
Bad exploits are bad, but obviously.
Not game breaking.
Yeah. I mean,
Exploits.
you can come in like another good example, like for exploits and shit like that. Well, I mean, this is all the tangent, but I remember, like for instance, like Smash Bros is a big example because once they added wave dash in there, that's just like straight exploit of the engine. It's like, oh, this is happening. But the thing is, so instead of embracing it, the company, they just took it out, right? But they could have embraced it and said, hey, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
I believe Tribes on the PC a long time ago, there was a way where you can like jetpack and pretty much ski on hills. So you just build a momentum and keep going. So they actually, I mean, granted it's not popular still, it used to be, but they brought back Tribes for free to play one night, right? But that was the actual mechanic.
Yeah.
Like they said, hey, do this mechanic that was an exploit. Now it's part of the game. Like they embraced it. That's kind of cool. So actually, you know, that stuff like that's cool. I wish they kind of did it with Melee in a way. That way people could still be doing that. But they would have to just the actions to do it is just kind of just dumb.
Yeah.
It's not simple to do. You know, it's just like
It was a tactic to kind of show off. To be honest.
initially, yeah.
Like,
If I didn't, because when I played it casually, when I used to play casually with people, and this is with people, and when I saw people do it, I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. It's like,
Yeah.
to me, I never found an actual application for it. The only time the application would work is if you're both doing it and you're actually in a competitive setting.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in this casual shit, it's like, no, fuck.
It was also kind of
nice slide backwards, buddy. Don't
No,
give a fuck.
exactly.
Here's an item on your face.
Yeah, 1-inch teleporting.
Yeah.
No, I think it was an intimidation thing, and I think it was kind of a way for people to show off and not
Oh,
really
yeah.
a lot, you know.
But on the other side of that, that's what makes some exploits fun. I mean, in old games that we play, like like again, like doing the jumps in Mario Kart. There was like setting up traps with the shells because we know the shells don't break. They're there infinitely, so you can set up traps in the corner somewhere.
Yeah.
Especially like in Block Fort, battle modes, you just because they don't stop, you just make a fucking wall that no one goes by. It's just like that's really funny. So yeah, that's what I love about the little shit, man. I wish you still had that stuff.
Yeah, well, back then you had to own up to your exploits, your cheating, and your talking your shit, dude.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's just like
You hide behind a computer screen and
Well,
rage.
But it's funny too. But what's even worse about that is that you can't even get someone on that. You like there's so much anonymity now. Like when I play Overwatch, there's a person that the guy can just literally talk shit the whole time, like type it out. You can say it back to him in the game, whatever, right? But once the game's over, you can't talk to him anymore. There's no way to contact him unless you hit the send a friend request to him.
Just to talk to him.
Just even whisper. So there's that fucking huge ass wall behind like. What's the fucking point of talking shit and you can't defend yourself?
It's not personal anymore.
Yeah, and it's just like everyone thinks because everyone feels they're right and everyone thinks they're right.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna drop my last word and leave. Haha, right.
Yeah, well, that's really immature and childish. That's the kind of people you're dealing with.
But the thing is, well, that's what it turns into. Like back then, you couldn't do that.
Well, back then it's like, especially I remember in the casual play Street Fighter 2 or Soul Edge in this case, Mortal Kombat. Back in the day, dude, if you were cheap or if you like talk shit, dude, your opponent would be like, "You want a street fight for real?" I remember that. Dude.
Let's bring this outside.
Yeah,
no quarters.
Yeah, dude. They'll be waiting for you outside your arcade, dude.
All right.
You can't get in with them. You had to be responsible back then. You couldn't do. Back then, if you were respectable. Back then, it was respect. You had to shake hands or be like, "Hey, man, that was a good game," Nowadays, it's just like,
It ain't like that now.
So that being said, do you guys feel that I don't know, online play is helps or a hindrance to community play now?
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It helps because people from Ethiopia could be playing you, and that's really awesome, and you can connect with other people from around the world.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's detrimental because
Could end up playing against some Joe Random that just wants to having a bad day, or maybe he was bullied his whole life and he wants to take his rage out on someone else.
It's detrimental in a way. Yeah, exactly what you said. And also, but there's all that hate talk. The same person from Ethiopia. There'll be a lot of name dropping and all this and that, and it's just there's a lot of
negative.
But it's
a lot of
stereotyping gamers.
You're right. Yeah.
A lot of that hate talk is just a lot of slap on the wrist. I haven't seen a game company go, well, let's just really do something about that. And if you say something like bullshit, like even if you didn't mean it, you're just saying it just to be a troll, just outwardly saying it. It's like, dude, just get the hell out of here. You don't need that.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be fun back in the day, but like when you're playing a game like where it gets a little serious and you just start spouting shit, it's like, dude, we're trying to play this game for real.
Yeah.
It's like if you're not playing for real, get the hell out of this mode or whatever.
Exactly. And there's going to be those guys that just ignore that altogether and going to live the rest of their lives miserable about whatever it is that they're actually going through.
But then, it also comes down to there's those people that come after, like, let's say they have a bad day at work and they want to come play games, and their release is literally to be that troll, that guy. So I mean, it's so hard to say. I mean, they have no other avenues of. I can play a single player game, or I can play maybe a multiplayer game that I'm good at, so I don't have to worry about talking shit. But you don't see that. No games can really cater to that.
I just think also it's like also perpetuates this whole idea that it doesn't help people with their social skills. They hide behind and
no, because when they actually
they talk all this shit. They put down people, this and that. I'm just like, if this was no internet and this was back in the arcades. Dude, if you said that shit, you'll get your ass kicked, of course.
By multiple people.
Or it'll ban you, and it's just like people don't realize that. People have to be more responsible and grow up, dude.
I do feel like there are. I mean, although it's not as it's not as serious as if it was at an actual arcade where all of those things could happen to you. You could get banned or you could get beat up. I think I feel like some companies are trying to implement ways or to discourage this whole sort of bullying, hate talk, things like that, by like kind of not perma-banning, but temporarily banning your account from you playing online, like little like you said, slaps on the wrist.
But the problem with that, Overwatch is a big example. It's a good example because you have to buy the game. $60 to buy the game and to have that account. You just can't get the account and start playing like other free-to-play games. That's what makes it so easy for other people to troll, because they can just whip out an account to get banned.
Yeah.
Unless they get a Mac ban, which literally bans their computer, not the IP. But I don't know. I don't think you go that deep. But anyways, but that's the thing. Like, you can't really just stop someone from
That
being
would be
hateful.
like some SWAT stuff. You know,
What, the
like,
Mac?
Yeah.
No, that's actually, you can do that. It's just they don't really try to. I don't know why.
All right.
It's weird.
All right. But
I can go bigger detail about banning stuff later on.
Sure.
Because I've done my fair share of that. So, but that's the thing though. It's like no one really, again, everyone gets a lot of risk, and then you can always proxy in and find another way to play the game.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, I think you guys made a good point earlier. Is that it seems like every game's a multiplayer game. There's no single player involved where people could do a campaign on their own.
Yeah.
There are. It's just not as marketable as it used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, some people still want it. Like, for instance, like Battlefront 2 is finally going to have a single player, which is going to be the Imperial side of After Return of Jedi, which is probably going to suck compared to how TIE Fighter was. But the thing is, though, they're really putting that in now, and I mean, I'm sure people want it. I mean, actually,
it should have been there to begin with.
It's more of a Star Wars thing to probably have an actual story to get to see going on.
Absolutely.
But let's say, for instance, like Battlefield 3, I bought that game and I tried single player and I was like, I'm going to play multiplayer. You know why? I had this weird urge that I'm falling behind automatically, because in multiplayer you have that leveling up system where if you don't play, you're not going to have all the good stuff and you're not going to be able to compete at that level. That's why I think when Call of Duty came out, Modern Warfare 3, because I was playing Black Ops 1 and that was a good game, and then Modern Warfare 3, or I forget, it was one of the Modern Warfare that came out. All I did was just play the multiplayer because I just wanted to get my shin prestige.
Your gear, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, there's no, like, why play single player when it's just like a shoot? Oh, well, that's another thing altogether, because it's all of them are just shooting galleries now. It's like go to checkpoint, shoot incoming enemies till dude's done fiddling with a bomb for 5 minutes. You know, just type of shit. I mean.
Well,
that could be the other thing too. Is just maybe the single player experience is not as good as it used to be.
Well, they don't put in much effort.
To be honest, I think that's what I kind of like about this new Injustice.
I don't know about effort. I just want to say creativity.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I think that's kind of what I like about this new Injustice 2 game that just came out. I think that's a good example of.
Catering to everybody. Catering to everybody.
Catering to everybody. Yeah, it's a really awesome online experience. You can play competitive versus each other. You can kind of build guilds to farm
the stuff.
Yeah, right? to get more points, better gear, and everything like that. But then there's also this really awesome single player mode. And it's a fighting game. Like it's this really awesome single player mode that has this really great story. As well as like these online multiverse challenges where you play through a series of ladder matches with different with different challenges that you have to meet day by day. All single player. You don't have to play against like anyone if you don't feel like you're up to snuff with a lot of the competition.
Yeah.
And, like if you're not really good at fighting games. I'm not great at fighting games at all, actually. I like playing the game.
The experience.
And I can play kind of at my own
pace.
At my own pace and at my own skill without having to worry about juggling and combos and everything like that. So I love the idea of the single player and multiplayer marriage together. I feel like if something is primarily single player or primarily multiplayer, depending on what game it is, it's probably limiting itself, like Street Fighter V. That was primarily just like when that game came out.
You mean the initial launch?
Yeah, the initial launch of Street Fighter V was pretty much just an online versus game with.
I have a lot to say about that, but that'll be another day.
Yeah, but like.
Maybe that's when we can have Marcos in.
Yeah, I mean, Marcos gonna explain the shit on that. Sure.
Spoiler alert, yes, his name is Marcos.
Oh, yeah, he's the fighting game champ we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Thing is, though, like, that's what's funny, though, because you can tell they're trying to cater to just the esports portion of it right there.
Sure.
Right? But, I mean, it's all like, just look at it, attack it on different angles without even knowing what really happened. You can assume all these things where, okay, maybe they just want to release a game, balance the actual fighting portion of it. And here's all these, the small handful of characters. You guys can play the game, sure, pay full price. We're gonna add the rest of the shit for free, or pay full price. But it's there. It's just there. Like it's almost like an open beta. And then when they actually did release single player, it's like, hey, it's finally single player, guys. But it's like at the same time, it's like, dude, you guys just released this game now. It's like what? There's no impact. There's no like good impact of the game gives me now that you added. It's only single player now. It's like I'm not gonna go to buy the game now. It's like I don't care about Street Fighter now. You already added single player. Like it's almost like when he released Sin City, the movie, and then he makes Sin City 2 like 10 years later. No one gives a shit about it. That's exactly what it feels like.
Sequel's way too late.
Yeah. So like, but that's just adding the meat to the stew way too late.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like what the fuck, man.
The hype has died down.
Yeah, and I mean, and I'm on the same point. I mean, I like to play I want to play high level stuff like that. I would like to play more like that. But and Street Fighter stuff's not my favorite. Well, but the thing is, though, I did like threes because they had some story. Alpha had some stories. 4, like,
4 was kind of convoluted.
Yeah, it was just more like a fan service game. Had just threw everyone in there.
Yeah.
So, but then number 5 was literally just nothing, and then they added a short thing after that. But it's not really that they didn't really try. I mean, give me like even if it's small like Street Fighter 2. But give me some cool ending and give me a fucking credits ending scene.
Exactly.
That and me being on fucking super hard difficulty gives you different songs.
I wouldn't even give it that much credit as Sin City 1 and Sin City 2. Yes, those movies had endings. Those movies could have been complete stories in their own right.
But it's one of those things where why should I remember to care?
Exactly. It's kind of like having.
The iron's already cold.
The ending to Sin City 1 be released 10 years later.
Yeah. No, yeah, I see that. Yeah. Or whatever one of the chapters on the inside, right?
They're not giving you the full experience. They're giving you a part of this experience that rightfully you should have the whole thing all together to begin with. So.
Yeah, that's what you don't get. And but I can totally see we're trying to push it. I think if I recall, I think they wanted to get it ready for the Capcom Cup too. So.
Oh, that's right.
So it was one of those things where, look at what I think he's trying to cater to.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they wanted to single player. I'm pretty sure they want to cater to online multiplayer, that's what the open beta thing was all about, or the closed beta too. Trying to get all the infrastructure going. Then they get ready for Capcom Cup for Esports. That's 3 different things I worry about, and not to mention making the game just play well.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing, though. It's like
there's so many things. There's so many things to cater to now that everything just run. I think.
You get
something else.
You get a shallow product.
Yeah. And I mean, but a lot of games are like that now. And I mean, to be honest, it feels dirty to say, but some of them are actually kind of fun that are really shallow. It just depends how you play them. But they're always finite to a point where, okay, I understand this loop. Now I'm done. I don't want to play this anymore.
Sure.
It's the loop turned into work, and I'm good.
Absolutely.
But back then you didn't really get that. You just had to. Back then it was easy to unwind with shit like that.
Well, back then it was relatively new. A lot of the games were tech, demos or experimental.
Yeah, per generation. Yeah.
I think the last 2 games that really set a genre was World of Warcraft and Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto for sure.
Grand Theft Auto, yeah. But after that, it's just like, where else can you take this? Video games.
Sure.
Well, that's why GTA Online is such a big force. I mean, they're pushing it hard again.
Yes.
GTA.
And there's not even no sign of 6. Which at this point, I can see why they don't care. I mean, it's like a Red Dead Redemption, which, by the way, that's probably going to be insanely good, considering that that's going to be online multiplayer. So
what's that? Well, Red Dead.
Yeah, the Western one.
Oh yeah.
So just wait till they kicking it into virtual reality.
Oh, that's even good.
That's it, man. Skynet's gonna win, dude. Skynet's gonna win.
Yeah.
Oh, Skynet's already won.
Oh yeah.
But the thing
is
right. Well, that's the thing, though. It's like you have that, and maybe they're maybe doing 6 afterwards, but GTA Online is raking in money for them. I mean, ever since they stopped all the cheating, now the money actually makes sense. They actually buy because they actually sell money.
Yeah.
You can buy it off of them, and there's also modding community for that. So it's all a little thing that the community builds itself totally on that.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of good that they did that. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, whenever there's a community that grows from just like a small modding community or to make a game better for themselves, and if the company actually supports it and makes more online capabilities, like making more scenarios, more stuff to work with. I'm like, they actually, you can see the cogs here. It's like, wait a minute, we can make more money off just doing this because they're just playing a game that we just built the infrastructure for it, and then just play around in it.
Why not, dude? I'll just sit back there and collect a paycheck and save enough money to make an explosive GTA 6.
Potentially.
Yeah.
They could just make GTA 6 online only next.
They
could just make the
probably will.
world.
They probably will.
But that's the thing though. That's what it's turning into, which is it's gonna all be like how mobile is, where it's just you're gonna slowly it's all pay up, buy your shit, buy your consumables.
Well, here's something that really grinds my gears, and we'll save it for the discussion.
Sure.
Because all the software, recently the Supreme Court said that if you buy software, if you buy something, it's yours. So a company can't say, "Oh, well, you're just you're renting it. It's really ours, and you can't copy it. You can't buy this console and then mod it yourself. It's just our product." So the Supreme Court says it's like, no, once you buy it, it's yours. You can do whatever you want.
Yes.
Since wrecking the warranty, right? But the thing is, going back to this, it seems like all the games nowadays are subscription based. What's BS for me is that they're still charging the same amount of money that a game back in the 90s cost. And back in the 90s, you needed that money for the development costs, the discs, all the other stuff, right? The packaging and selling. And now it's like they're saying, they said they can't afford to give you a disc anymore. They can't afford to give you a instruction manual or casing or sell it in a brick and mortar store because it costs too much money. But they're still charging the same price to buy the game online. Sure. So my thing is, if you're going to have a subscription base and have people paying every month to play this, then why have the initial $60 charge, $70 charge? That's highway robbery.
It's all the work that got put into it.
Yeah.
You gotta consider the only real consideration you gotta think about is the fact that granted I don't like it either.
Yeah.
Is the fact that it takes a lot more to make a game now, and there's a lot of personnel, there's a lot of fees. It's all with it. Because you gotta honestly, and you gotta consider too that you made this game for like a year or so, right? And you threw it out there. Yeah, all these expenses, all these things you've done with it, and then you gotta consider they gotta build.
Let me write this down. We're gonna discuss this next week. Because I got a lot of shit to say about this.
Yeah, so I guess
because the thing is that it's just a lot. Because it's not just a studio of 20 people now.
Yeah.
Back then it's like, you can have all the extra expenses to do other shit.
Yeah.
Right now we're to a point where they gotta give you the product as cheap as possible, which is digitally.
Sure.
They're still making boxes where you can just have the code inside, which is EA's stupid idea, and it's EA's trend to make that. The thing is though. But you have a whole AAA company behind that. That's what's scary. So that's where the money's coming from.
One sentence, really quickly, dude. All right. I'm just a reminder.
Yeah.
But look at Doom. Look at the guys at id. How many people? Like 9 people. Look at that shit, dude.
Yeah.
One artist doing all that.
Yeah.
One musician doing all that. Now you need to hire all these like other guys with the. Oh, I got a texture artist here, I got this, I got that. I said, fuck that, dude. Why don't we just hire 2 or 3 artists and pay them what they're really worth to develop the game instead of getting all these interns and all these other people and you pay them scraps?
Because these companies are afraid that they're only going to attract a certain limited audience. They're trying to hit everybody.
I know.
Also,
Okay.
at the same time, let's just do it. You're gonna make. Well, also, you want to say hire a few. Let's say. You're gonna now. Granted, it's all saturated with how many people are working out there, but now you're making it harder for people to even get a job for something. We're gonna need 3 guys on this cold company to do art.
Yeah, go get another job washing cars, man.
But even let's say, but if I was a company at this point, I'd be like, if we only got 3 main ones that are building. Let's see. We got money. Let's go.
Wouldn't that cut the development costs? So.
If only having 3 people.
Yeah.
It would.
It wouldn't because you have the release date would have to be way later now. You have to work on it longer. So you're still paying them a lot. You're paying them way more now for those 3 people, which you could split all that money down for multiple people to build it faster.
Yeah, well.
Granted, there's still those issues. That's why there's a QA force, but they don't do all the work either. Plus, a QA force.
Speaking of
the QA force is QA forces are always overseas now because it's so cheap for that deal. That's what makes it worse because they don't take people. People in-house QA always took their shit way more serious, especially when they're permanent. Yeah. When they're overseas, they're just doing it to get their own money, and they just kind of bug everything without really quality. They get more quantity bugs than quality.
Well, we'll discuss this next week.
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure we're going to spend another 2 hours talking about this.
But just as a bigger scope thing, it's like that's what it just turns into. Where They're just trying to maximize as much money and get as many people to build it fast as possible. And then when even at the end of the day, you need to have dev support for this online game now. You have to have a whole team, like a skeleton crew that sits behind, make sure patches are cool, and then you have a whole development team to add on to make a new DLC. And even with all that money behind them, they still make some shitty DLC.
Yeah. Well, hey, we'll continue next week.
They need,
right?
Yeah. Well, they need. What they need to do is they need to go back to making expansion packs, not DLC. Spend the time to make a game again within the game.
Well, you know what? I'm going to write that down too. We'll do that.
Look what
DLCs. I'm going to write this down. DLCs, WTF. All right, we'll discuss that.
I can understand why
So
they exist.
next week we're going to discuss subscription-based games, where the money's going, and why we're being charged, initial amount to play it.
And probably a whole lot more than that.
Oh, not the next.
And not that, but if you stop playing that subscription-based game, you should get a refund for the initial cost.
No.
There's obviously a lot of passion in this.
Subscription-based stuff. I mean, I don't know. It's still kind of relevant, but at the same time, it's what it is now is microtransaction. So you're not.
Okay, well, we'll discuss it next time.
Because
And then the other thing, we want to talk about the bogus idea of a DLC, where I think DLC is just wrecking games. Instead, they should have expansion packs, right?
It's a yes and no question.
Well, we'll see about it. We'll
We'll talk about it next time.
we'll talk about it next
I don't
time.
know.
And what else should we consider?
Consider. Let me see. Well, if it's next week, E3 is gonna be happening that week, so we need to watch all the keynotes.
Oh boy.
Especially Nintendo. I think they're actually gonna be there this time. So that's.
Yeah, but I heard they're only going to get a 30-minute spot. I mean,
Their directs are 30 minutes anyways. But if they're gonna be there, that's different. The only thing though is that they're trying to push. I don't know if you've seen that image right where they show like what was it, Pokken. There are two games like the Splatoon and I think maybe not Mario Kart. It was some other one. But it's another competitive game. Oh, ARMS, excuse me. So
Yeah.
3, but there's an empty spot, and people are speculating what the hell that might be. New IP. People are saying Smash 4 Deluxe, which is the dumbest idea.
Well, how about
Smash
this?
5.
We'll discuss.
I wish it was, but it's not going to be that.
Okay, we could do a subscription-based DLC. I think the whole E3 thing would be like another hour video right there.
Oh yeah, of course.
So anyways, I think that's what we have to look for, and people at home. And while we're at this, and since we're directing the audience, have you actually made it this far? Congratulations, by the way. Or if you skip this far, leave a comment below. What's your favorite N64 game, or what's your favorite PlayStation 1 game, and which one was a better system, and who do you think really won the console war in the 90s? You don't even have to be born in the 90s. You can actually look it up on Wikipedia and all that, find out. Or
Sega,
just look.
Nintendo, Sony, or
Nintendo. Sega's like part of it.
or Microsoft.
Yeah, or Microsoft. So
The top 3.
I don't know, feel free to comment. Feel free to give feedback on our presentation here, whether it sucks or not. Anything, any feedback is good feedback,
Yep.
whether it's bad or good. Or constructive, or hey, if it sucks just right now, it sucks, so we know we can do better.
We can always do better.
We will do better.
Yeah.
So, anyways, again, we're Vaporware, where our talk is nothing but vapor.
We just talk shit.
We're
Blowing smoke.
blowing smoke, and oh man, I was trying to come up with a good rhyme. Oh well.
We'll get our slogan eventually. All right,
Yeah.
guys. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, this is thanks for listening. This is Omero.
Lewis.
And Daniel.
We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Yep.